Hello and welcome back to the Weight Competition Center. Chris Lehman and Max Gordon with you here on PackTV. We've got more Ice Pack hockey for you tonight, the second of two weekend tilts here this weekend against the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles. Max, they had a game last night, first one between these two teams in a couple of weeks. They split down at Florida Gulf Coast a couple weeks ago. It was a 5-1 win for the Eagles first night. The Pack bounced back, came up with a 2-1 win in the second game. Last night, a little bit of a struggle for the Pack. They fell 3-1 in that contest, so now 1-2 against Florida Gulf Coast on the season. And you look at that first period, that's where we'll start. A very good first period for this Ice Pack squad. They outshot the Eagles 16-5 and really kind of controlled play, even though they didn't have the lead at the end of 20 minutes.
Yeah, the Ice Pack even started out with a 15-1 shot differential before Florida Gulf Coast ended up tying the game on their second shot of the first period. And then from then on, the tone of the game was a bit different. Ice Pack found themselves in a spot they haven't really found themselves in this year, tied and even trailing at home, and it led to a different look than what we normally see.
Yeah, and really the story as you look into the second period was penalties. All three goals, and of course the first goal comes in the first period, but all three goals for Florida Gulf Coast come with the man advantage, and so that was really a problem for the Pack as they took a few too many penalties in that second period.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take too much experience in coaching or watching hockey to tell that you probably shouldn't put back-to-back reigning national champions on the power play too often. They took advantage of those opportunities and started to kind of take a stranglehold on the game when they were able to capitalize in the second to take the lead.
Yeah, and then in the third period, it really became Florida Gulf Coast game. It seemed like the Ice Pack struggled to get out of their own end. The breakout and play through the neutral zone wasn't as crisp, and it was a fast period as well. As we watched a lot of continuous play, and the Pack just unable to put one past Nussbaum, who had a great game for Florida Gulf Coast.
Yeah, there was a lot of neutral zone back and forth. NC State couldn't really get any opportunities going. Bounces, caroms weren't really going their way, unable to set up any odd man rushes or anything of that sort. I thought Eric Daniel had a great third period last night, keeping it a one-goal game for as long as he did before Florida Gulf Coast ended up scoring the final goal of the game and going on to win 3-1. So the Ice Pack will be looking to hopefully get some more of those rushes, especially starting fast tonight. And we'll see if they're able to capitalize on the same opportunities that the Eagles were last night.
Well, you mentioned Daniel there a moment ago. In net tonight will be Griffin Hunt, and we're going to talk a little bit about that upcoming as we take a look at some of the lineup changes that head coach Tim Healy made to try and help this team bounce back in game number 2 here tonight. We're going to step aside here pregame on PackTV. When we come back, we'll talk NC State lineup changes. We'll be right back after this.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
At Potbelly, everything you find is a little bit happier, sweeter, fresher, groovier, and yummier. Why? Because at Potbelly, we know it's never enough to just eat lunch. You gotta feed your smile. Swing by for our new turkey club, handcrafted to make you smile.
Build it, you demolish it. The legendary Homewrecker Burrito. Come build yours today with 20+ fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. promo code ONLINE.
Chris Lehman, Max Gorn back with you here on PackTV, getting you set for the second tilt of the weekend between Florida Gulf Coast and the NC State Ice Pack. We talked about it briefly before we went to break, Max, but some lineup changes that we want to highlight going into this game tonight. First and foremost, the one that stuck out to us was Riley Johnson moving down off of that top line, going to play with a former teammate, was still a teammate, but a teammate from prior to the Pack days in Colby Peterson, trying to spread the wealth around a little bit here tonight.
Yeah, NC State's leaned on that top line of Chris Solomon, Parker Zarek, and Riley Johnson a lot this season. I don't believe there's been a game where those three haven't played together thus far. So Coach Healy looking to shake things up, putting one of his top offensive producers on the second line in Riley Johnson to once again connect with his former teammate, Colby Peterson. And Matt Miller will slot in on the first line with Solomon and Zarek.
Well, and Riley Johnson, we talk about plenty. He's a big presence in one way, but in another way, a big presence is Cam Mazikowski. He was out last night. He's back in the lineup. The scratch taking his place, and the guy who will be scratched is Don Johnson. How big is it for the Pack to have that big body back on the ice on the D-line?
Well, Mazikowski is a huge anchor for the defense. He brings a lot of physicality, but can also hold his own in the offensive zone. I think he was dearly missed last night in a really chippy game. Where guys were sort of going back and forth at each other. Mazikowski doesn't shy away from any sort of contact, any sort of battle with any opponent, and his presence will be extremely valuable tonight.
Well, and you talk about that net front presence. It also makes it worth noting that 2 of the 3 goals that the Eagles scored last night were tipped out in front. So if you can get a little bit of extra traffic out of the way for the goaltender tonight, Griffin Hunt, I think that's certainly going to be helpful for the netminder. And speaking of the netminder, last night you mentioned Daniel had a great game. Now it'll be Griffin Hunt in net.
Yeah, I mean, I love to bring it up because Coach Healy loves to bring it up all the time. He believes they have 3 number 1 goalies on the roster, and on any given night, you'll go for whatever you think will give you the best chance to win. He likes to say maybe Eric Daniels, maybe a more quieter presence, a calming presence, and they'll see if Griffin Hunt can maybe get them a little more fired up, a little more motivated, galvanized tonight.
Well, certainly the Pack want to get out there, get galvanized, and get out to an early start like they did in the game last night, and hopefully carry that on through all 3 periods. We're going to talk a little bit more about the keys for the Ice Pack and what they need to do and the adjustments they need to make against Florida Gulf Coast if they want to flip the result here tonight. We'll step aside one more time. Pre-game here on PackTV, NC State and Florida Gulf Coast coming up here shortly.
Build it, you demolish it. The legendary Homewrecker Burrito. Come build yours today with 20+ fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE. From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy, up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State. Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
So with the fans, I mean, It sucks not having them here this year because they're an integral part to any time we have a home game. Their support and helping us get to nationals 2 years ago was just incredible, and how the community kind of rallied behind us and helped us get there. I mean, that was amazing. So if we could even have some semblance or replication of what happened 2 years ago this year, that would be absolutely unreal. This year specifically, we have a really, really good shot to, find some success and have a shot at winning that national title. And, the boys in the room believe we can do it. The coaches believe in us. Any support we can get would be amazing. You can donate at www.icepackhockey.com. This would help our team get to nationals, pay for flights, hotels, any transportation like buses and things like that. So we'd really appreciate your help in getting us there and helping us achieve our ultimate goal of winning that national championship. Thank you.
Welcome back to PackTV's coverage of NC State Ice Pack hockey. Tonight, second game in 2 days against the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles. Chris Lehman, Max Gorin, bringing you the action tonight. We want to talk a little bit now about the adjustments and kind of the keys to the game, Max, that the the Ice Pack have for the game here tonight. And it's going to be a tough one. We expect it. You got a top 10 matchup between these two teams in ACHA D2 hockey, so it's going to be a tough contest. But we saw that the Pack can play with this Eagles team, particularly when you look at the way they started that first period. And that's kind of our first key, is carry that kind of play throughout the game.
Yeah, start strong, start fast, get going as soon as possible. Maybe try to get a couple shots on their goaltender to sort of get a feel for the game, boost that confidence a little bit, to get some shots on his pads, maybe fine twine early on. That can be a huge boost for your team at the beginning of a game.
Yeah, and the Pack, when they came off the ice after the first period, one thing that Coach Healy was not happy with was they were a little bit more frustrated with the result that they had in that first period because, as we talked about, badly outshot Florida Gulf Coast, but it was a 1-1 hockey game. And that kind of leads us into the next key, which is in-game resiliency. One thing that Coach Healy has told me that he's very happy with about this team is they're pretty darn good at bouncing back game to game. If they have a bad game, they can turn it around and play well the next game. But one thing he'd like to see this team improve on is that resiliency within the game, which we didn't quite see that last night.
Yeah, I mean, should they find themselves in a situation in tonight's contest where something doesn't go their way, whether it be a call or a goal against or something like that, it is incredibly crucial within a game not to let that get to you, not to let that stay on your mind. Bad play, you just got to forget it. You have to have a short memory in the game. You just got to go out there and play your best and not sort of let those things drag you down and sort of drag the team down as a result.
Yeah, and the other thing that was mentioned to me by Coach Healy about this team and what they need to adjust tonight, something they did well in the first period, was stick positioning and breaking up those cross-ice passes for Florida Gulf Coast. Last night, what did you see out of the Eagles, those cross-ice passes and creating space?
Yeah, they're an incredibly skilled team, especially on the power play when they have a lot of extra passing lanes. They'll get set up in the offensive zone, and they'll just pass it around until they find a look that they like. Or if they've got bodies in front of the net, they'll set up a situation where they can go for a deflection or try to get the goalie screened and take a good shot. So you have to break up any of those looks going across the ice where there could be one-timers or somebody could be open for a wrister that your goaltender will not be in the best position to save.
And the last key that we have coming into tonight, we've talked a little bit about it throughout the pregame here, and I'll let you expand a little bit more on it, is discipline. The big thing, all four goals, when you combine them for both teams, came on the power play. So the special team's certainly going to be crucial.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one snafu essentially for both of these teams, is that they often take more penalties than a team should. Again, not that any team should be taking penalties at any time, but you can see it in Gulf Coast's leading scorer, Brendan Beard. He's also their leading penalty taker, and taking a penalty at the wrong time can be a huge detriment to your team. Late in the third period last night, with the Ice Pack were trying to rally, penalty with just about 5 minutes left on the clock. I mean, that can be a huge rally killer. You have to do your best to stay out of the box and give your team the best chance to put their best players out there at the same numbers, or if you're lucky, maybe even draw a penalty and get those special teams opportunities yourself, and that can lead more often to a win than if you were going to take those penalties.
So if you're the Pack, it boils down really to playing that game that they played in the first period. Disciplined, fast, skilled hockey, and we're going to find out here very shortly if they're able to put that together for 60 minutes. We'll step aside here on PackTV and come back to talk about what's up next after this weekend for the NC State Ice Pack. This is NC State Hockey on PackTV.
We build it, you demolish it. The legendary Homewrecker Burrito. Come build yours today with 20 plus fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE. From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy, up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State. Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
So with the fans, I mean, it sucks not having them here this year because they're an integral part to any time we have a home game. Their support and helping us get to nationals 2 years ago was just incredible, and how the community kind of rallied behind us and helped us get there. I mean, that was amazing. So if we could even have some semblance or replication of what happened 2 years ago this year, that would be absolutely unreal. This year specifically, we have a really, really good shot to, find some success and have a shot at winning that national title. And, the boys in the room believe we can do it. The coaches believe in us. Any support we can get would be amazing. You can donate at www.icepackhockey.com. This would help our team get to nationals, pay for flights, hotels, any transportation like buses and things like that. So we'd really appreciate your help in getting us there and helping us achieve our ultimate goal of winning that national championship. Thank you.
And welcome back inside the Weight Competition Center, where the NC State Ice Pack are preparing to take on the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles for the second game in this weekend set. I'm Max Gore, and with me is Chris Lehman. And Chris, we're just about a couple minutes from puck drop here. What are you looking for out of the Ice Pack coming into this game?
As you see, the Ice Pack taking the ice now in their white unis tonight. And it's really going to be about what kind of fight they're able to bring to this game. We talked about it, kind of an uncharacteristic game for NC State last night. They didn't come out in the second period and continue what they had started. And Coach told me going into today, they actually did something that they haven't done in a very long time, and they called a full team meeting. Coach talked to the full team. Then after he left, the captains got together, kept the players together in a players-only meeting to talk as well, and to get their mindset in the right frame for this contest tonight, because this Florida Gulf Coast team is no joke. There's no question about that.
Certainly no joke indeed, being the back-to-back reigning national champions of ACHA Men's Division II. Fans, the NC State Ice Pack is ranked number 5 in the nation and has qualified for the ACHA National Tournament. But they need your help to get there. Any support you can give is greatly appreciated. You can find out more information about that at icepackhockey.com.
And you mentioned that, of course, we definitely want as many people to support this team as possible, help them get back to nationals as they go over the starting lineups right now. But this is a game and a matchup and a weekend for NC State that is a kind of a preseason, almost you could say, to that nationals tournament that will be coming up in April. And it is a game, it is a test that will certainly give them an idea of what they're going to be facing in that national tournament. And we will get a look here at the teams coming out to the blue line. Looks like we're just about ready for the national anthem, and we'll throw it down to Wade Minter here in just a moment, who will go over the NC State lineups and get us ready for the start of this game. So there's the national anthem, and we're just about set for pep drop. We got a fresh 20 minutes up on the scoreboard for period number 1. Chris Lehman and Max Gorin with you here on PackTV, and another top 10 matchup of ACHA D2 men's hockey. NC State coming in at number 5, Florida Gulf Coast at number 9. As we mentioned a little bit earlier, State will be in their white unis, black shorts, and white socks. On the other side, Max, a little bit of a new look here for Florida Gulf Coast tonight. Had that Vancouver vibes last night with the green and blue. They've got the black unis tonight, and while they're not quite in school colors, gotta like that trim on the shoulders, I'd say.
I think it's interesting with the palm trees on the shoulder yoke, though not sure that that's exactly the right shade of blue for Florida Gulf Coast. You can kind of see how it doesn't really match the helmets, but an interesting choice.
Definitely gives off the South Florida vibes. I like it. So it'll be Riley Johnson centering the line to start with Colby Peterson as well as Alex Robinson off the draw, pack control, and they'll move straight up the middle. Johnson looking to chip and chase right into the defense of Florida Gulf Coast. Mazikowski now in neutral ice will send it deep behind Nussbaum, and the Eagles looking to break it on out. Up the near wall, Wyatt Engelman across the blue line, throws one into the legs of Mazikowski and behind the net. Chasing it down for the pack as Victor Hugo battling behind the net. You got to look at it up close there. Engelman comes away with it, banks it back up to the blue line. Cycled back deep, Dylan Cantwell along the hashes. Leaves it there, wrist shot, whistles high from Brandon Beard, and they'll fight for it in the near corner. Thrown on goal off the stick of Griffin Hunt and into the slot. Pack come away with the loose puck, and they'll lift it deep and send it all the way down. Just enough on it for an icing call, so the Pack not going to be able to make this change here with 19:07 left in this period. Bit of a long shift there for this team, and you get a look on the instant replay at the last chance for Florida Gulf Coast.
Yeah, a bit of a longer hockey shift. Usually guys aren't out there more than 30 or 40 seconds. They were stuck in their own zone for a bit of a minute there, but only one dangerous shot, ended up going a bit high of the net, and they'll play on.
Pack control off the draw. They'll send it deep and look to get in on the forecheck at Zarek, putting some pressure on in that far corner. Joe Saraceni cycles it around the near wall. There's Storley back up the far side, and it's Saraceni again. He's got some speed down that far left wing. Looks to swing it in front, loose puck, and a pad save made by Griffin Hunt on a soft little chip shot in. And here comes Solomon. Solomon has the puck hop his stick. Florida Gulf Coast will take over. Shoveled up the far wall. They're waiting for it. Evan Maxey at the blue line. Sends it to the middle, tipped away by Miller, and he'll sweep it right back into the Florida Gulf Coast end. Well, one of the things we talked about, Max, in our pregame was stick positioning for the Pack and cutting off those cross-ice passes. You saw it right there.
Yeah, although I bet Coach Healy probably not super pleased, having given up those 2 shots in the slot already. Trailing player each time Florida Gulf Coast came in and got a clean shot right in the slot. Something they'll be looking to tighten up the rest of the way.
Gulf Coast in control. They'll send it deep behind the North Carolina State net. And the Pack pick it up and break out. Arini pressuring at the Florida Gulf Coast blue line. Can't possess. D-to-D pass is bobbled, and a loose puck is collected by Eric Todd. Ice Pack captain loses it in his skates. And now it's Miles Ferrone sending it deep. Nussbaum sets it on a tee. Lifted off the glass and out. Frosch gets a stick to it, sends it to the middle, and it looks like NC State comes in offsides. I think it was Drew Bressingham who was not quite back on, and we'll have a face-off in neutral ice.
Something I want to mention before we forget, maybe overlooked, this is really a senior night for the Ice Pack. They will not be playing another home game this season. This is their final game here at Wake Competition Center over on the Red Rink. Seniors spent most of their games over at the Iceplex, but got one season here at this great new facility, and we'll see if the Pack will send them off with a win.
I've got a chance here. Odd man rush, chipped in to the near corner, and they'll give chase. Vedetta shovels it behind the net. Chasing it down is Justin Goldman of the Eagles. He'll be knocked off the puck. Back behind the net. Pack in control. Centered out in front off a stick. And now Florida Gulf Coast on the odd man rush. Mason Lundquist sends it in. Griffin Hunt will head out behind the cage. Leaves it there and will be swept up the near wall. Vedetta spins it out of the zone, but only to the red line. And the Eagles send it right back in. They'll get a change. Back behind the net, it's Victor Hugo. In control for NC State. Up the wall for Todd, and he'll send it along. It's Colby Peterson. Peterson along to Johnson. Johnson down that right wing. Dances around one man, throws it off the side of the net, and chases it down once again. Back up to Frosch on the near point. He'll go D to D. Ferrone loses it in his skates, able to get it to Robertson though. Swept right back up. Ferrone slaps one on. Nice pad save made by Nussbaum. Puck loose in that far circle. Back to it is Peterson. High slot shot, doesn't get all the way through. Frosch will slap it back behind the net. And now Robinson centers it out. Blocker save made by Nussbaum. Good little forecheck here from the Pack. Peterson pressured along the near wall. That'll be a 4-man scrum. There are 3 Eagles in there trying to knock it loose. And Johnson is lingering, but it'll be Gulf Coast coming away with it. Along the far wall. Pitched up and out, getting a glove to it is Ferrone. And he will poke it forward, going to chase after it as the rest of the pack go off for a change. Robertson sends it right back in. Behind the net, it's Nussbaum to it first.
And we already got a couple good looks for that new unit of Johnson, Peterson, and Robinson. We got our first look of the Riley Johnson signature move there, taking it outside the right circle and just kind of throwing it on net from the goal line.
And we've seen him score a couple of goals high short side. Pack back into the zone, thrown on net. Nussbaum has trouble controlling the rebound. He's got a defenseman there to clear it out of danger, though. Pack still putting on some pressure over on the far side. Lifted up and out. It'll bounce just out of the zone. Ian O'Rourke there to stall things out, but the Pack unable to maintain possession. Now with it, Nick Panfin. Over to the far wall to be backhanded into the NC State end. Lifted right back out by Halko. A little over 5 minutes gone in this first period. It's been a little back and forth. NC State 3 shots to 2 over Florida Gulf Coast. Still looking for somebody to put one in the back of the net, though. And we'll get a clearance all the way down the ice. NC State can ice this puck, and it'll be an offensive zone face-off for the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles.
NC State playing with a little grit there, a little, maybe like a forearm shiver from Bresingham to the retreating Gulf Coast player into the boards after the whistle is blown.
And you like to see that if you're an NC State fan. A little chip on their shoulder tonight. I don't think that the game last night left a good taste in their mouth, and they've come out with a lot of energy here early. Gulf Coast controls off the draw. Throwing it deep, but it'll be right back out, down the near wing. It's Bressingham. He'll chip and chase. Bodies a man up and gets to the puck first. He'll battle now with Kyle Roy. Along the wall, four-man scrum. NC State comes away with it. Todd out in front, off a stick, loose in the crease. A diving Nussbaum knocks it away, and Florida Gulf Coast escapes danger there. Big hit up at the red line as it's sent deep by Maxey. First one to it for the Pack is Ian O'Rourke. Shovels it up that far wall, but sent right back. Along the near wall. NC State comes away with it. Again, it's O'Rourke. He's got some space, and we're going to get a penalty on NC State, as it looks like it was Jack Cohen, number 3, who was tripped up behind the play, and Bressingham, the guilty party, will go off for 2 minutes for interference here.
Well, getting away with the shove earlier, this time Bressingham not able to avoid the wrath of the officials, and he'll sit for 2, and Ice Pack hoping not to fall behind early here, giving up another special teams opportunity to the Eagles.
We talked about it. Special teams was going to be a key in this game. All 4 goals scored on the power play between the two teams last night. Florida Gulf Coast controls, and they'll set up the man advantage attack. Thrown through the middle and knocked away. Over in the far corner, Gulf Coast still trying to get possession, but a nice job to force some rush decisions. And a fan shot. Second try, floats in on goal. Griffin Hunt will squeeze it in the pads and hold on. And we'll get another look at this chance here. But Florida Gulf Coast forced to move the puck, I think, a little bit faster than they wanted to there. And you saw the quick shot that didn't quite get the power on it that I think they wanted. And Griffin Hunt handles it nicely.
Ice Pack very active in the defensive zone, not waiting around, sitting in the middle, getting out to the possessor of the puck, trying to make something happen themselves.
Eagles in control. About a minute and a half left on the power play. Tipped shot from the far point. Goes sky high and up into the roof, so we'll have another face-off in this NC State end. That shot came off the stick of Ty Lasker. And the draw again will be to that blocker side of Griffin Hunt. Eric Todd up against Jack Cohen of Florida Gulf Coast. 13:27 to go in this first period. Still looking for our first goal. Storley. Back for Lasker. His wrist shot hits a body in front. First one to it is Jack Cohen. He'll sidestep a defenseman. Sends it back to the point, and again the shot goes wide from Lasker. Florida Gulf Coast still in control on that far side. Todd tries to fork it loose. Unable to do so. Now it's Mazikowski with the backhand clear that makes it to the blue line, but no further. He'll block a shot and clear it all the way out this time. Ice Pack will get a change. And Max, pretty nice aggressive play over on that far wall by NC State on the penalty kill that has kind of made Florida Gulf Coast uncomfortable.
Yeah, Gulf Coast trying to tie up the penalty killer sort of in front of the net, try to get a clean shot over on the left circle. A couple bounces not going their way, though. They whiffed on a few shots there. NC State
back at it again. 40 seconds to go on the power play. Brandon Beard in control. He'll be forced out of the zone by Arini. And the Eagles reset. Beard back in. Sweeps it around the wall, held in at the far point, and slid right back into the near corner. Takes a awkward bounce. Florida Gulf Coast wasn't ready for it, and Arini's there to clear it right back down. Just 15 seconds left on the man advantage. It was a penalty for interference to Drew Breshingham of NC State. And he's about ready to come back out of the box. Back up the ice come the Eagles. Cycling behind the net with it, Dylan Cantwell out in front. Beard shot hits a skate and doesn't make it to the net. Cantwell holds the zone, though. Brandon Beard again in the far corner. He'll look to work it up the wall. Good pressure there from Hauko as he finds Engelman, and Engelman's dispossessed. Robinson over on the far wall gets some help, and NC State able to clear it out. Riley Johnson gets a stick to it at the red line. Colby Peterson now picking it up. Peterson to the blue line for Robinson. He'll steer it to the near side. Riley Johnson comes in. Bad angle shot, missed wide. And Florida Gulf Coast will clear it out, hit a body, so it'll trickle in slowly. And a couple bodies colliding over there on that far side. Cantwell the first to it. He'll retreat for Florida Gulf Coast. They're going off on a change. And so they'll reset their lines and go right back at it. Pass up the near side. Off a skate. It's Solomon bringing it in. Quick wrist shot hits the glass behind the net. NC State, a couple good chances. They haven't been able to find the net with some of them, though. Gulf Coast back the other way once again. That's Jake Verreau sending it deep behind the net for NC State. Matt Miller sends it up the near wall. It'll get out into neutral ice, but Florida Gulf Coast back in control. 5-on-5 hockey here about halfway through this first period. Centering pass stolen away. That'll give a chance for NC State to move back out. Lifted up for Solomon. He can't reach it. Florida Gulf Coast sends it back into the neutral zone. And they're able to sweep it deep. Well, both teams seem to be able to break out of their own end. It's getting in and establishing themselves on the attack that has been the problem. And we've got a whistle and a high stick, as I believe it was Solomon who swatted that out of the air, so the puck comes back to the NC State blue line for a face-off. And you get another look here at that replay. Solomon, nice steal, but just not on frame with the shot.
Yeah, I expect him to continue with that hunger. He's probably, he scored a goal yesterday, but I doubt he was satisfied. He had a lot of great individual efforts leading to some pretty near scoring chances. I'm sure he would have loved to score one of those, and likely dissatisfied. He'll try to make up for that tonight.
10:14 to go in this first period. Eric Todd to face off against Joe Saraceni of Florida Gulf Coast. Saraceni wins the draw. One-timer right off the face-off, hits some bodies in traffic, and deflects to that far wall. Saraceni back to the point for Lasker. They go D-to-D with Storley. Storley has a lane. It got through, but didn't find the net. A sprawling NC State player that was Drew Breshingham, I think, kind of shielded Griffin Hunt. Arini now going 1-on-4. He'll step through traffic, sends it back to the slot, nobody able to connect. Burke steps in and sends it deep for the ice pack. He'll chase it down on the far wall. Good hustle from Griffin Burke. High slot, backhander in on goal. Stick down by Nussbaum, who has to jump on it over on the near wall. We haven't seen too much action for Nussbaum, but he's looked shaky a couple times as we get another look at that last play.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever been a time where I haven't seen Griffin Burke hustling. It seems like he is going full tilt as soon as he hits the ice. He's showing it there, the hustle there, leading to a scoring opportunity for the ice pack.
Well, that's exactly what you want out of a bottom six forward, and that's where Griffin Burke is. Burke centering this line with Alex Fong, as well as Alex Vedetta out there right now. Gulf Coast able to clear off the face-off, and it's sent right back in by Vedetta. He hit Fong with it, who was offsides. So the face-off comes out of the zone. And once again, we've mentioned it a couple times throughout the last few games, but COVID restrictions starting to ease off a little bit here in North Carolina, so we do have fans in the building tonight, which is certainly refreshing to see after a year of fanless sports really everywhere.
Yeah, fitting, especially for senior. And I actually got a couple of seniors right now manning the blue line in Devin Halko and Ian O'Rourke.
Riley Johnson wins the face-off forward, knocked off the puck as he gains the blue line, and now Florida Gulf Coast can move back out with it. Down the near wall, it's Seth Cohen, sends it to the middle for his brother Jack, and a loose puck in front. Can't be put home by the Eagles, as NC State escapes some danger there and clear it back into the FGCU end. It'll be sent all the way in. Looks like NC State had a chance to play it and did it, so icing waved off. And now Riley Johnson able to move out. He finds Colby Peterson on the near wall. He'll gain the blue line, tees one up, it hits a skate and deflects to the far corner, all the way back up to the blue line. Swept around now to the near side for O'Rourke. Down low, off the stick of Johnson, who can't control. He'll get some help from Peterson. But NC State will have to get back. Florida Gulf Coast looking to stretch it out. Nice job by the defense. Ian O'Rourke there to step in front of that long pass. And they'll try it again. O'Rourke steps in front once more. He'll battle over along that far side with Jack Laviolette. And it'll be worked to the near side now. Peterson lifts it in. Trying to get a glove to it there was Laviolette. He'll let it roll back behind. And Florida Gulf Coast will reset once more. Here comes Wyatt Engelman. He'll get to the blue line and swing it in. Chasing it down is Brandon Beard. He'll battle over along the far side with NC State's Miles Ferrone. Florida Gulf Coast wins that battle. Back to the blue line. Work deep. Again, it's Beard. He'll be dispossessed. Backhanded up the far wall for Matt Miller. Miller can't send it to the middle, trying to break out. Florida Gulf Coast with a good forecheck on now. Along the near corner. Moved up for Solomon. Solomon finds Miller. Miller coming in alone to the net. He scores! With speed, Matt Miller slips in front and slides it right past Nussbaum. 1-0 NC State.
Here we see the first goal for these new blended up lines. Matt Miller in place of Riley Johnson typically would be. Just comes in with that great speed along the left side. Makes a strong move on the backhand to get around his defender. Switches back to the forehand around the pads of the goaltender. And he buried it to put the Ice Pack up 1-0.
A little over 7.5 minutes to go in the period. This is about where we were last night. NC State struck first. And they're back at it. Eric Todd at center ice for the faceoff up against Joe Saracini. Saracini wins it backwards. And Florida Gulf Coast will reset behind their own net. Lifted up the near wall. Held in at the blue line by Mazakowski. Breshingham lifts one in on goal. A little bit of a floating wrister. Easily handled by Nussbaum, and I think that's the kind of save you want. To get another look at it on the replay. That's the kind of save you want if you're Nussbaum. I'm not sure it was on net, but an easy one to handle after giving up the goal.
Confidence is a major factor in goaltending. Can make or break your game, and just getting a couple of good saves can really build up that confidence and make you play better going forward.
A little bit of an extended battle off that face-off. Florida Gulf Coast comes away with it. They'll work behind their net and lift it out. Mazakowski at his own blue line. Swings it back up the boards for Todd, who gains the Florida Gulf Coast blue line and sends it in on the forecheck. Arini now in control. Got some help over on that far wall from Hugo, who has it now and swings it back behind the cage of Florida Gulf Coast once more. Storley up that far side for Evan Maxey. He'll go cross ice. Bank pass, and a couple of players caught up. Mazakowski with a nice little hit there on Panfin, and he's able to send it back for Nussbaum to track down behind his net.
There we see another example of the impact of Cam Mazakowski and what his presence in the lineup can bring.
He's been a hit magnet early. A lot of Eagles going after him, trying to establish some physical dominance. Not easy to do against Cam Mazakowski.
Not really advisable either, I would say. I'm not sure I would want to do that.
Eagles with another chance. Nice stick save made by Griffin Hunt, and the NC State defense able to send it back down and out of danger, but it's all the way down. We'll get another icing call. That's something you've got to keep an eye on, as we'll get another look at that chance for Florida Gulf Coast. A little drop pass and a quick wrister in on goal. Easily handled, but it could have been dangerous.
It's the kind of goal you would score in the 1980s in the NHL. Those pucks along the ice. Maybe looking for a rebound there, more or less, nowadays. But
NC State has iced the puck a few too many times, I would say, here early. Early on, you can get away with it. You're not quite as gassed out, but later in the game, those icings could come back to hurt them. Pack will clear the zone and head off for a change. as Florida Gulf Coast will start the breakout from behind their own net. Up the near wall, Wyatt Engelman misplayed it momentarily. He'll lift it right in on Griffin Hunt, who sticks it down and doesn't have anywhere to go with it, so he'll hold on for another drop.
You know, and that's something you want to do maybe if you're clearing the zone, if you have the ability to do anyway, is maybe try to get those clears down on net. You've got someone hustling up to the puck, the goaltender will have no choice but to cover, and then you've got yourself an offensive zone faceoff.
Riley Johnson to take the draw against Mason Lundquist. Johnson wins it. Pack will control behind their own net. Up off the glass and out. And it trickles all the way down. And some of these passes just a little bit disconnected right now, as NC State and both these two teams, Florida Gulf Coast as well, trying to stretch the ice out a little bit with these passes sent up the rink. And someone's going to have to find a way to settle that down. Right now it's Florida Gulf Coast in control in the offensive end. Back for it. Halko sends it off a skate. It's deflected out of play. And a face-off will be right in front of Griffin Hunt once again. A lot of zone time for Florida Gulf Coast here in this first period, Max.
Yeah, but I'm sure the major concern for the Ice Pack is on the scoreboard and not in those possession numbers. Obviously, you don't want to be in your own zone, but I'm sure they'll be at least a bit more satisfied than they were last night if they're able to go into the locker room up 1-0.
Johnson wins the draw once again. NC State will clear it deep. Pedersen got a tip to it, but it was before the red line, so it'll still be icing. And NC State has to come back down into their own end. And you're wondering when one of these offensive zone faceoffs is going to be one too many down here in front of Griffin Hunt. Once again, it'll be Jack Cohen and Riley Johnson dueling in the faceoff circle. Johnson wins it again. A little over 5 minutes to go in this first period. Here comes Colby Peterson up the near left wing. Cross ice for Johnson. Beautiful pass. He zips one just over top. Ian O'Rourke holds the blue line near side. Shovels it in. Loose puck to Peterson. Nice defensive play coming from behind. That was Jack Laviolette tying up the chance. And now Florida Gulf Coast can move out. Rink wide, over to the near side, Seth Cohen. He'll swing one on goal, and a juicy rebound tipped away by Miles Ferrone. Nice job by the NC State defenseman. And now the Pack looking to clear it up and out. It'll be chipped along by Robinson. NC State will go off for a change, 4.5 to go in the first. And a tip pass means no icing here on Florida Gulf Coast. Misplayed by Griffin Hunt behind the net, swept out in front. Nobody there for the Eagles. Slapper hits a body on the way through for Lasker and deflects back behind the net. Eagles in control again. It's Jack Cohen turning on a dime. Leaves it for Maxey. Back around. And NC State will control along the far wall. Pitchforked out. Solomon going to chase after it. Storley the first there for Florida Gulf Coast. His clearance hits a body. That's Matt Miller chasing it down behind the net. The NC State goal scorer here in the first period. Now on it, Chris Solomon. Solomon looking for options. It's not there. He swings it around the boards. He finds Miller behind the cage. Backhand pass, getting a stick to it and denying the middle of the ice there was Nussbaum. Nice job by the netminder. NC State almost looks like they're setting up a power play here. Solomon lifts it to the middle. Can't connect. Eagles come away with it. Spun back behind by Sam Storley. And Florida Gulf Coast has some space to clear, but they send it too far. And NC State will head back for an offensive zone face-off after the icing.
And something I've noticed out of the Ice Pack thus far is that they're making a lot of almost blind centering passes, trying to get to the slot without seeing if they even have a teammate available. And Florida Gulf Coast, great at being in those passing lanes, often results immediately in a turnover as they're typically in great defensive position.
Eagles will win that face-off in their defensive end. Joe Saracini sends it around to the far wall, but the Eagles can't clear. Arini decked at the blue line, trying to hold the zone, and now Storley elevates it out. Pack will possess again. Todd deflects it through neutral ice, right back to the defense of Florida Gulf Coast, and they'll turn it right back out. Moving forward now, Nick Panfin leaves it at the top of the far circle, and a wrist shot right into the gut of Griffin Hunt will be swallowed for another face-off. To get a look at this chance again, and you mentioned it earlier, Max. The strategy coming into the offensive zone for Gulf Coast right now seems to be drive wide, create space back in the high parts of the zone, and then leave it there for a shot.
And something that will, one would think eventually, be successful, especially for a highly skilled team like FGCU, NC State, needing to try to limit those chances, try to get a stick in between those passes.
Pack, control off the draw and bring it forward. Solomon, beautiful pass across, right in front, they score. Tic-tac-toe, NC State adds to their lead. It's 2-0.
I mean, that was just a beautiful sequence of hockey. Another goal for this line. As we take a look at the replay, Solomon sending it across, and then the centering pass there from Matt Miller. And Marcus Eric just perfectly in position to bury that one in the net.
That's the kind of play, if he were here, John Forsland would say that's hockey, baby, because that's hockey at its finest. A beautiful, beautiful pass from Solomon across the ice through traffic, and then right back in front, Zarek doing exactly what he should do, driving the net, and NC State now doubles their lead. And they'll control off the face-up. Sent deep, big hit on the entry to the zone. Fong will get up okay, but he took a bit of a walloping there. 2.5 to go in this first period. NC State off to a fantastic start. They're being outshot 7-8, but the most important stat, they're leading 2-0. Fong in control at the red line. Sends it across. NC State will gain the blue line and attack. Sent out in front. Juicy rebound kicked away. Nice job by Nussbaum. He kicked it right out in front, but with a lot of force. Pack will hold on the near wall. Robinson elevates it back along for Davidson. Florida Gulf Coast able to regain possession. Back behind their net, looking to start a breakout. Nifty little spinorama. But they're still unable to clear. Held in momentarily by Hugo. Eventually forced out into neutral ice. NC State doing a great job right now. They've really gotten the forecheck going. Speaking of which, Colby Peterson with a steal in the slot. A little bit of a weak backhand shot handled by Nussbaum, but a good chance there as well.
Just couldn't quite get enough of the blade on it, but still, nonetheless, a great chance for Colby Peterson out there in front of the net.
And we'll get offsides here. Puck slapped off the glass and back into the Florida Gulf Coast end. That was Devin Halko, similar to an offsides we saw earlier, hit a teammate with it who was in the zone. So we'll have a face-off right on top of the Gulf Coast blue line. Johnson up against Jack Cohen on the draw. Jack Cohen wins it. And Gulf Coast will set things up, slowly moving it in. Off a stick, that was Jack Cohen who negates the icing and gets it deep. Florida Gulf Coast in on the attack. It's Seth Cohen behind the net. Just over a minute left in the period now. Jack Cohen again. Left to the blue line, wrist shot, deflected in front, and putting a glove down on it is Griffin Hunt. Smart play there. That one looked like it could get a bit hairy. We'll get another look at the chance here. And we mentioned it pregame. One thing that Gulf Coast does well, Max, is get traffic in front and get some deflections from the point.
Yeah, I mean, to bring up another John Forsland catchphrase, they get that bevy of humanity out in front of the goal, and that can make things tough for the goaltender, the defending team, to do anything about it. Got to box out to avoid those screens and deflections out in front.
Pack will attack right off the defensive zone draw. They're right back in to the Florida Gulf Coast end. Eric Todd slaps it behind the net. Davidson looking out in front. It's denied. Right to Todd, though. Back behind the cage for Davidson. Looking to Todd. And a nice job by Jack Cohen to step in front. We're down into the final minute. 45 seconds to go in period number 1. NC State with a couple of goals in the last 10 minutes of this period. Lead 2-0, gaining the zone. Slapshot comes in, and we'll get a little bit of extracurriculars. Jack Cohen didn't take kindly to that, as I think it was Drew Bressingham there coming in with some speed.
I feel like Bressingham maybe throwing a little snow on the goaltender, Nussbaum. Think about Drew Bressingham. He plays a lot bigger than he is. He's a very smart player, especially for a freshman. And his impact, it might not necessarily show up on the stat sheet, but maybe his intangibles and his ethic can make a big impact for the Ice Pack.
35 seconds to go. Offensive zone draw, one forward by the Pack, right in on goal. Nice little play there by Solomon. And getting a pad to it was Nussbaum. Pack looking to establish that forecheck once again. They have really made it difficult on the Eagles to break out of their own end here, particularly in the last 5 or so minutes. Down to 15 seconds left in the period. Solomon gains the blue line, sends it in, sidesteps a check, and goes after it. Sent out in front, hit a stick, and Nussbaum, it looked like, had to make a pad save. Matzikowski throws it to the net, and it hits the body in front. 3 seconds to go in the period. Florida Gulf Coast will carry it out, and we're through 20 minutes here at the Weight Competition Center. These two teams have a little chirping session over in front. We'll get a look at that last sequence there before the end of the period. And a nice job by Mazikowski just to throw that back towards the net. Didn't end up in the net, but NC State with the advantage after 20 minutes, Max.
Yeah, it looked like Mazikowski had words there for, I believe it was Connor Black or maybe Hanfin down there at the end. The Ice Pack riding high after a 2-0 start to this game.
That is a good start for the Ice Pack. There were 2 goals in the first period last night, 1 for each team. Tonight, 2 goals, both to the Ice Pack. It's a 2-0 lead after 20 minutes here at the Weight Competition Center. We'll be back with some coverage at intermission right after this.
Build it, you demolish it. The legendary Homewrecker Burrito. Come build yours today with 20+ fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE. From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy, up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State. Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
So with the fans, I mean, it sucks not having them here this year because they're an integral part to any time we have a home game. Their support and helping us get to nationals 2 years ago was just incredible, and how the community kind of rallied behind us and helped us get there. I mean, that was amazing. So if we could even have some semblance or replication of what happened 2 years ago this year, that'd be absolutely unreal. This year specifically, we have a really, really good shot to, find some success and have a shot at winning that national title. And, the boys in the room believe we can do it. The coaches believe in us. Any support we can get would be amazing. You can donate at www.icepackhockey.com. This would help our team get to nationals, pay for flights, hotels, any transportation like buses and things like that. So we'd really appreciate your help in getting us there and helping us achieve our ultimate goal of winning that national championship. Thank you.
Back to Ice Pack Hockey on PackTV, where the Ice Pack lead 2-0 over Florida Gulf Coast after one period. Joining me is Matt Miller. And Matt, great period for the Ice Pack.
Thank you.
To start out here, you were thrown out on a new unit tonight with Solomon and Parker Zarek. What's it like getting a new look on a new line tonight?
We just want to change some things up this game. We weren't getting too many goals all around through all our lines, so we just want to spread it out. So far, it's worked.
What did you see on that first goal where you came streaking up the left side and made that great move up at the goaltender?
It just started in the D zone a little bit. We were caught for just a little, but then we got a chance to go, and Solo just fed me perfectly, led me in front with a pass, and then I thought I was going to get cut off by the D guy, but he gave me the lane, so I knew I could take it to the far post.
We spoke shortly before the interview about how you anticipate Florida Gulf Coast to bounce back and respond. How are you guys going to sort of combat that moving forward?
Yeah, they're a good team. We know that that 20 minutes isn't going to do it enough, so we just got to come back with the same energy, same exact mentality for the rest of the game.
All right, thanks, Matt.
Yeah, thank you.
Ice Pack lead 2-0 over Florida Gulf Coast. We'll be back with more after this.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
We're back here at the Weight Competition Center. Chris Lehman and Max Gorn on PackTV. A 2-0 lead after 20 minutes for the Ice Pack over Florida Gulf Coast. Max, you just got to chat with Matt Miller, who had that first goal. A beautiful goal, and one thing that it looked like NC State really got to in the last 10 minutes of that period that we saw in both goals was speed up the ice.
Yeah, I mean, they're a fast team essentially all around. Matt Miller, of course, no exception. Just brought that puck up the left side, made a great individual move, possessing the puck on his backhand on the left side, cut it right in front of the net. He's able to switch it on the forehand and bury it past Nussbaum for the first goal of the game.
And another thing that NC State did really well as that period went on was the forecheck. And we saw a lot of chances generated off of offensive zone turnovers, or defensive zone turnovers, I guess I should say, for Florida Gulf Coast. That led to some quick opportunities for NC State. And Nussbaum, a little bit shaky at times, but he had some answers there as well.
Yeah, very active sticks for NC State in the offensive zone. I can specifically remember Colby Peterson, Chris Solomon, both getting to pucks in the offensive zone and leading to some quick scoring chances that FGCU was not necessarily expecting. And kind of catching your opponent off guard can be big for getting scoring chances just like that.
And I'm curious as well to hear what you think about the result of those changes we saw in lines. We mentioned it before the game. Obviously, Matt Miller working well on that top line. And then moving Peterson down, or I should say Johnson down to that second line with Peterson has really seemed to generate some chances on that line as well.
Well, that chemistry connection, we've not necessarily seen it yield any results yet, but it's just been one period. That can be big for just guys mentally being connected, knowing where the other one's going to be. That can lead to some great chances. And, of course, Matt Miller, another skilled player, fitting in with Solomon and Zarek. You saw it on the pretty passing on that second goal. It can lead to some almost high-octane nuclear results, and we'll see just how far they can take it.
Well, and I mentioned Nussbaum a little bit earlier on the Florida Gulf Coast, and Griffin Hunt also faced a good number of shots. NC State out-shooting Florida Gulf Coast 11-10 after one period, and Griffin Hunt up to all 10 shots.
Yeah, he's looked very solid, looks confident in net there. The most dangerous shots for Florida Gulf Coast, fortunately for the Ice Pack, mostly ended up going high or wide. There were a couple shots where they're maybe looking for a rebound or a screen or a deflection out in front. Hunt was up to the task, able to get the pads to all those, and so far allowed no goals thus far.
So the NC State Ice Pack up 2-0 after one period here at the Weight Competition Center. We'll be back to take a look at what adjustments, if any, NC State needs to make headed into the second. This is NC State Hockey on PackTV.
Build it, you demolish it. The legendary home wrecker burrito. Come build yours today with 20+ fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE. From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State. Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
So with the fans, I mean, it sucks not having them here this year because they're an integral part to any time we have a home game. Their support and helping us get to nationals 2 years ago was just incredible, and how the community kind of rallied behind us and helped us get there. I mean, that was amazing. So if we could even have some semblance or replication of what happened 2 years ago this year, that would be absolutely unreal. This year specifically, we have a really, really good shot to, find some success and have a shot at winning that national title. And the boys in the room believe we can do it. The coaches believe in us. Any support we can get would be amazing. You can donate at www.icepackhockey.com. This would help our team get to nationals, pay for flights, hotels, any transportation like buses and things like that. So we'd really appreciate your help in getting us there and helping us achieve our ultimate goal of winning that national championship. Thank you.
Chris Lehman, Max Gorin back with you here on PackTV. We're just about through intermission. NC State, after one period, leading Florida Gulf Coast 2-0. And we'll look ahead now, Max. And first, I just kind of want to look back slightly. One thing we talked about in the pregame was special teams. There was one power play that period. There was an interference call on Drew Breshingham. NC State, their coach Healy wanted to see them a little more aggressive on the penalty kill, and I think we saw that in that first period.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of active sticks, active legs. They weren't waiting around in the slot to try to block a shot. They were getting out to the point, trying to poke check the puck away and send it down the ice. Rather than waiting back and letting the game come to them, they went and they took control of it.
Yeah, and really when you look at how the period ended and the momentum that NC State had, there's not a lot that you look at and think they have to change, but what did you see out there that you think might be a little bit better or could be a little bit better in the second period?
I will love the aggressiveness from the Ice Pack thus far, but they're going to want to stay out of the box again. They only did take one penalty, but there was definitely a little bit of back and forth there at the end of the period, and you want to try to avoid going to the box in a situation like that. So you want to try to get that advantage, but you don't want to do it at the cost of going a man down.
Absolutely. So a lot of good stuff from NC State. Only minor tweaks headed into the second 20 minutes, which is coming up here in just a minute. We'll be right back with Puck Drop here on PackTV.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
At Potbelly, everything you find is a little bit happier, sweeter, fresher, groovier, and yummier. Why? Because at Potbelly, we know it's never enough to just eat lunch. You gotta feed your smile. Swing by for our new turkey club, handcrafted to make you smile.
build it, you demolish it. The legendary homewrecker burrito. Come build yours today with 20+ fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE.
Chris Lehman and Max Gorin back with you at the Weight Competition Center. We're just about ready for the second 20 minutes. We got a fresh sheet of ice, and I always like throwing in a little bit of history on the broadcast. We got a little curious earlier and wondered why, of all sports, hockey is 3 periods as opposed to 4 quarters or 2 halves. And we found out that back in the early 1900s, they decided it was a little bit better for teams if you cut the ice and cleaned it twice rather than just once. And they went from playing 30-minute halves to playing 20-minute periods. So a little fun fact for you there as these two teams get back out onto that fresh sheet of ice. And it was a very good first period, as we talked about, Max.
Yeah, I feel like 30 minutes of continuous play would be kind of long, too. So that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ice Pack coming out strong in the first period, taking that 2-0 lead into the locker room. But like Matt Miller said, they are expecting a response from this great Florida Gulf Coast hockey team. And we will find out just what that response looks like very shortly.
So Florida Gulf Coast, again in the black, will move right to left here in the second period. NC State in the white moving left to right. Johnson to take the draw for the Ice Pack, but it's Brandon Beard of Florida Gulf Coast who wins it. And it'll be the Eagles controlling to start the period. Dispossessed by Johnson at his own blue line. Now Mazikowski slaps it up that far wall. It'll be picked up by Robinson. Quick 2-on-1. Robinson and Johnson. Shot from Robinson. Whistles wide of the near post and into the corner. Cross ice pass will hit the wall. Nobody there for Florida Gulf Coast. Mazikowski sends it to the middle off the stick of Johnson. And that'll allow Florida Gulf Coast to send it deep. Mazikowski again on the breakout. He finds Robinson, who has space up that far wing. Crosses over with Johnson. Sends it into the corner. Riley Johnson will track it down. Has one man on him there, poked off his stick, and it'll be picked up by Dylan Cantwell. Cantwell cuts to the middle, crosses the NC State blue line to the high slot, and a nice stick from Devin Halko to deny that shot. And Florida Gulf Coast will put the forecheck on as they get a change. Halko shovels it up that far wall, deflecting it out of the zone is Peterson, and it's Miller picking it up. Miller sends it deep. NC State will get a change, and always worth noting at the beginning of the second period, this is a lot of times the most dangerous period for a team as they've got that long change away from their defensive end. Traffic jam in neutral ice. Couple guys spill. And NC State will come away with control. Solomon down that far wing. Drags it around his defender, Storley. Lugs it behind the net. Sends it up to the blue line. Halko fans on the one-timer. And Florida Gulf Coast will get it back to neutral ice. Halko there to meet it. He finds Solomon, who's knocked off the puck by a nice hit. Loose puck collected at the Florida Gulf Coast blue line by the Eagles' Storley. Sam Storley, D to D with Ty Lasker. Lasker looks to throw it deep, but NC State steps up at their own blue line and shuts it down. Now Matt Miller. Miller, we talked to him at the intermission, had a great first period. He'll leave it off the wall. One-timer swallowed up by Nussbaum. And an offensive zone faceoff coming up here for NC State. You'll get another look at that quick shot. But not a bad idea. Of course, I think everyone knows what's become a hockey cliche from the great one, Wayne Gretzky. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and sometimes it's just a matter of getting the right bounce. So not a bad decision there to get the offensive zone face-off off that shot.
Sort of is the ultimate hockey cliche, getting pucks deep and getting pucks to the net, and eventually you'll score.
And a quick wrister from Arini off that face-off. A nice job by Nussbaum to see it through traffic, and he'll make the save. So another face-off on the near side. Get another look at that quick shot. And that can be a dangerous one, especially since it was a wrist shot from Arini. Because if you're a goaltender and you don't hear the slap of the puck when it's shot, which you don't on a wrist shot, sometimes you don't know it's coming.
Yeah, especially if there are bodies out in front obstructing your view.
Well, keep an eye out there. There's a defenseman for Florida Gulf Coast that looks a little shaken up. I believe it's Kyle Roy in the middle of the ice. And he certainly seems to be in some pain, trying to find an opportunity to get off the ice. He's in control now, though. Across, off the wall. This one's going to go all the way down, and it's not icing. Nice job by Cohen to beat it out. Sends it to the middle, and the one-timer just wide. In tight from Jack Laviolette. Thrown back out in front. Hunt holds strong to his post, and he'll hold on. No rebound, and another face-off coming up.
A great effort there to cancel out that icing. I believe Florida Gulf Coast was aware the teammate was trying to get to the bench. They were able to beat it out, get him off. I believe if on an icing call, you are stuck out there on the ice if you're there when you ice it. So.
And you just got a quick look there at the replay of the chance for Jack Laviolette. Wasn't a great angle, and he didn't get a clean stick to it. But an offensive zone faceoff for Florida Gulf Coast. It's NC State winning the draw, though. Looking to force it up the near wall. Robinson to the blue line. It's held in. Mazikowski gets his skate on that shot and sends it out into neutral ice. They'll battle along that far wall. Squirts loose to Robinson. He'll lug it down the wing. Steps around a defenseman and carries it into the corner. He'll be double teamed there. Pins it along the wall for a moment. But the Eagles able to force it loose. Now it's stuck along the hashes. Swept right back around behind the Florida Gulf Coast net. A little over 3 minutes gone in this second period. And both teams still kind of feeling each other out in this period. Eagles looking to go D to D. Fans on the pass. Quick wrist shot from the slot. Blockered away by Nussbaum. We mentioned there were some shots he looked a little shaky on in that first period, but he had to come up big on a surprise opportunity there. And NC State going to send this all the way down for icing. But we'll get another look at that. And that's probably the third time that we've seen Florida Gulf Coast turn it over like that. And not a great pass. It's interesting. Halco kind of fanned on a shot down there earlier. We mentioned not a clean look for Laviolette down on this end, and you see a similar thing there. The ice is nice and clean. This is a new facility, so I don't think it's an ice problem.
Could just be the jitters, and sometimes puck just goes off the heel of the stick.
Quick shot off the draw. Florida Gulf Coast will get another offensive zone face-off as Hunt gloves that one. But and going back to, we've talked about it, but you continue to see NC State doing a good job of shutting down those rink-wide passes that Florida Gulf Coast likes to use to create space. And you see it again there where they get the turnover and a quick chance. Face-off right now in the NC State end. Griffin Burke up against Brandon Beard. Florida Gulf Coast's Beard wins it. But no chance they'll come out of it. Packer able to get it out into the neutral zone. Shoveled that way by Vedetta. Body down and over to the far wall. Florida Gulf Coast will turn it right back into the NC State end. Halco giving chase. Meeting him there is Dylan Cantwell. State able to get it out to the red line, but no further. Sam Storley swings it in. Griffin Hunt leaves it behind the net for a defenseman. That's Halco who sweeps it along the wall. And now Gulf Coast, a chance through some traffic. Nice job by Hunt to stick that into the corner. Another chance coming. The one-timer from Lasker missed wide. And Florida Gulf Coast getting established in their offensive end. Now it's Cantwell. Finds his way out in front. He scores. Beautiful individual effort from Dylan Cantwell. He went through 3 NC State Ice Pack defenders and picked that top right corner.
And even if they hadn't scored there, I was just about to mention that was by far Florida Gulf Coast's best offensive possession of the game thus far. Just able to hold on to the puck in the zone for that long. Eventually you'll find a good look, and it was Dylan Cantwell there, one of their leading scorers. Found himself in the slot and just fired that wrist shot up and in to cut the deficit in half.
We talked about how NC State responded to adversity last night, not exactly how they like to or how they usually do. We'll see how they do as their lead's been cut here early in the second period. They'll win in the center ice face-off and get it deep. Held in at the near point by Hugo, who lifts a wrist shot up into the net behind. Looks like it hit a stick on the way, so face-off to the glove side of Nussbaum coming up here. It'll be Solomon to take it for the Pack up against Saraceni for Florida Gulf Coast. Pack able to control, sent to the slot. Getting a stick to it was Mazikowski. Not a clean shot, though. And it ends up fluttering wide of that far side. Gulf Coast looking to break it out. Up the near wall, sent to the middle. And they'll break it into the zone. Backhand chance, hit the pad of Griffin Hunt and headed to the corner. Knocked up that far wall. NC State will pin it there and chip it up and out. Matt Miller giving chase on the forecheck. Kyle Roy sends it across to the near corner. And it'll be knocked off the puck. NC State backhand pass out in front. One try twice. And Sarek couldn't get it to go. Florida Gulf Coast clears back to the red line. NC State will send it right back in. Victor Hugo swings it in. Wraps all the way around the boards. Miller over on that far wall. Sends it back behind the cage. Knocked up the near side now. Hugo pinches to hold the zone for the Pack. Behind it's Todd. Blind pass out in front. There was a lot of space, but no white jersey. And NC State had an excellent chance if they had had a man in the slot. Hugo will retreat for it. Sends it around to his defensive partner, Mazikowski, on the far side. He feels pressure, lifts it to the neutral zone. Jack Cohen there for the Eagles to send it right back in. Hunt behind the net. Leaves it for Eric Todd. He gets caught up with Arini and leaves it for Garrett Arini, who takes a hit as he sends it in. And again, Florida Gulf Coast reverses the direction of play. Jack Laviolette sends it off the boards. Out in front, Griffin Hunt couldn't handle it. The second try, they score. 2 quick goals for Florida Gulf Coast. We're tied up as the Eagles charge out of this second period gate.
I believe that was one of the Cohens out there in front of the net. And you just got to swallow up those rebounds, especially when your goaltender essentially is immobilized by all those bodies out in front. He can't really get to where he needs to go. And the rebound buried there on the backhand, I believe.
Yeah,
Florida Gulf Coast evening it up quickly.
And you had a second look at it there a moment ago, and it's like we'll get one more look at it here. And Griffin Hunt, it looked like he put that blocker down to try and pin it and cover it, and it just slipped under his blocker. And there's a reason you go at the net when the puck's there, and Jack Cohen, the beneficiary. 2-2 with 13:25 to go in this second period. So Florida Gulf Coast comes out hot here in the second period. They'll go right back to work, and Griffin Hunt, that one wasn't on net, but not a bad decision by Griffin Hunt as Florida Gulf Coast all over the Pack just to melt that down and try and settle it down.
You're trying to calm things down. Don't want to get on a slippery slope, so to speak. Got Ice Pack looking to respond themselves now after the surge from the Eagles.
Face off to the glove side of Hunt. Johnson wins it. And NC State carries it behind their own net to start the breakout. Up the near wall, Robinson can't control. They'll fight for it at the blue line. Coming away with it is Florida Gulf Coast. A nice chance there for Wyatt Engelman. That got deflected up and over the net. Now Riley Johnson picks it up on the near wall. He's got some speed moving down the near right wing. He'll carry it back behind the net, swings it out in front. Hit a body and tipped up and out of the zone. That'll give Engelman a chance. He steps around a sliding Riley Johnson, but has plenty of help. And Robinson picks it up. Back to Johnson. Skate to stick. Looking down, he does a nice job avoiding the hit, but can't maintain control of the puck. Gulf Coast again looking to break out. Shut down by Peterson over on the far side, but only momentarily. And the Eagles will clear it out. Linesman says it was deflected, so icing negated. Eagles get a change. NC State trying to exploit it. Stretch pass up for Miller. On and off his stick. And here come the Eagles down the near wing. Thrown at the net just wide. Off the stick of Michael Haskins. And the rebound ends up all the way out neutral ice. Here come the Pack again. It's Chris Solomon. Stops in that far corner. Looks to the middle. That pass denied. Puck stolen away. Solomon, quick shot. It hit the pipe. Good chance for the Pack. Another rush here for Florida Gulf Coast. Sticked back behind the net by Griffin Hunt. Loose along that near side of the goal. Squirts into the corner, backhanded up the wall. Ty Lasker has it for Florida Gulf Coast. D to D with Storley. Storley throws it wide. Hard bounce off the wall, backhanded out in front. Nice job by Halko to shut that down. Slapped towards the net by Lasker. And I'm not sure if it was Hunt or if it was a defensive stick in front. But we'll get another look here at the last chance from Chris Solomon. Nice little steal. Quick chance, and you see it right there. Caught the iron. Inches away from giving NC State back the lead.
Solomon always seems to find himself in a scoring position. That time not necessarily able to find Twine, rather iron, but I doubt that'll be the last we see of him.
Florida Gulf Coast off the draw. Lasker's shot through a whole bunch of bodies. Found its way through, but not into the net. NC State able to clear it up that wall. Storley sends it right back in on Hunt. He'll set it on a tee for Halko. Moved up to Eric Todd. He can't handle the pass, and that'll keep Florida Gulf Coast on the attack. Maxey sends it deep. Pinching now Storley on the far wall. Swung right in front, nobody there for the Eagles. Now down the near wall, it's Jake Verreau. Back out to the point, Lasker again. Blockered away, that wrist shot, Griffin Hunt. And the Pack, if they can move quickly, have a 2-on-1. Breshingham with Arini breaking down the middle. Breshingham shot right into the glove of Ryan Nussbaum. And the two teams will push and shove in front of the Florida Gulf Coast netminder after the play. But that shot, if you're Breshingham, you maybe shoot a little bit more for a rebound low there. And Maxey just put it right into the glove of Nussbaum.
You know, he was waiting to see maybe if Garrett Arini could get a step on the defenseman, try to open up his stick for an easy tap in, but it didn't look like he necessarily had quite enough space to make that play, so fired the shot on net, glove down by Nussbaum.
Well, on the period so far, we're closing in on the halfway mark, but on the period so far right now, Florida Gulf Coast out shooting NC State 7-5. And of course, they've evened things up with a pair of quick goals in the first 6 minutes of the period. Solomon on the attack now for NC State. He'll curl in that corner. Leaves it behind the net for Zarek to collect. Zarek around the wall. He'll get stuck in the corner and dispossessed. Florida Gulf Coast on the breakout. Nice hit from Chris Solomon to dislodge his man from the puck. NC State in control. Off the stick of Miller, who couldn't handle the pass from Mazikowski. And they'll fight for it in the neutral zone. Another miscommunication between Miller and Mazikowski there, but NC State able to maintain control for the moment. Hugo tried to slap it in, and it's sent right back to him. Backhanded up the near wall. Gulf Coast holds the line. Thrown in on goal, deflected in front by Jack Cohen. And a nice job by Griffin Hunt just to be in the way. And again, we saw a little bit of this last night, getting a little bit chippy, but you would expect that between these two teams.
Yeah, I mean, the intensity will only continue to ramp up, especially in a tied game. NC State not wanting to drop this last game at home when they know they are fully capable of walking away with the win.
And they need a little bit of that pushback. You like to see it when you give up a couple of quick goals, when you really controlled play towards the end of the first period. And I think that break for NC State at the intermission almost came at the wrong time and seems to have reset everything.
Yeah, they were riding high, especially at the conclusion of the first period. We'll see if they can get that sort of energy back.
Off the draw, one back to the point. Loose puck in front, wide open net as Griffin Hunt slid out of position. And it slid into the gaping 4x6. 3 straight for Florida Gulf Coast. This time, it's one of their alternate captains. And Brandon Beard will get another look at it. There you did. And Griffin Hunt, just sometimes when you get down low on your knees and you don't have your skates in the ice as a goaltender, you can slide out of position quickly. And right there, it was Brandon Beard taking advantage.
Yeah, Beard, their leading scorer coming into this weekend set. Being in the right place at the right time can help you get to a spot like that. And there he was again.
NC State looking for a quick answer. Robinson's shot from the high slot is swallowed up by Ryan Nussbaum, and again, they'll go at it a bit back over in front of the net, and we'll get another look at that. Nice job by NC State. You go right back at it. Quick shot in on Nussbaum, and you got to give some credit there to Ryan Nussbaum holding on to that and not allowing a second chance.
Yeah, he stepped up after giving up those 2 goals in the first period. Been flawless thus far in the second.
9:39 to go in the period. NC State has the line of Johnson, Peterson, and Robinson out there now. Riley Johnson to take the draw. Looks like a quick pause to get everyone lined up properly. And Florida Gulf Coast clears right off the draw. They're going to move forward immediately. Cohen has it knocked off his stick. Florida Gulf Coast still able to get it deep behind the NC State net. O'Rourke going 1-on-2 against the Florida Gulf Coast wingers. And Gulf Coast comes away with it, and a trip. We've got a penalty upcoming on NC State, and they'll get a touch to it. And, well, Max, if you're the Ice Pack here, that's not what you want to do when you've given up 3 straight.
Yeah, I mean, compounding losses for the Ice Pack so far, giving up all those goals and now going on the penalty kill. Not exactly where you want to be after that start. Do want to acknowledge the hustle from the goaltender, Nussbaum. On the long change, he actually hustled all the way down to the bench, was about to get off before the delayed penalty was whistled.
So it'll be 5-on-4 for 2 minutes for Florida Gulf Coast here. Near circle face-off, Saraceni up against NC State's Eric Todd. Todd attempted to win it forward, couldn't maintain control, and Florida Gulf Coast will look to set up the power play. Walking along the goal line, looking to force it in front was Panfin. It's deflected behind the net. NC State picks up the loose puck, and some speed for Zarek moving forward. He'll get it behind the net. Nussbaum out there to play it, and Zarek will pin him there, and yeoman's work there from Parker Zarek to waste some time, as we're at 30 seconds into this man advantage for Florida Gulf Coast. Hugo shovels it up the wall. Eric Todd there to help it along. Pack unable to clear, though, and it's knocked all the way around the wall. First one to it, Mazikowski tried to poke it along. Sent right back to him. Behind the net for Hugo, who has a lane to clear it all the way down, straight in on Nussbaum. And he'll set it up as NC State makes a couple of changes on the man advantage. And one other thing that's dangerous about a power play in the second period, I mentioned the long change. It can be difficult to get your penalty killers off the ice. And if they get tired and they're down a man, it can really spell trouble. Cross ice pass denied by Mazikowski, cleared out of the zone. Solomon sends it the rest of the way. Over halfway through the power play, 45 seconds left on the man advantage for the Eagles. It's Colby Peterson in the box for a trip for NC State. Carried in from the red line by Justin Goldman, over to Beard on the far wall. Mazikowski steals that away, sends it right back into the chest of Goldman. And we'll get a second attempt and is successful in clearing this time. 23 seconds left on the man advantage now. Looking to the middle, Solomon denies that pass, and he'll get it out into neutral ice once more. Peterson up on his feet, ready to come out. And it looks like he'll head straight out with his line mates Johnson and Solomon. Cross ice pass finds Dylan Cantwell. Cantwell with a goal already this period. Whistles a wrister wide. And into the far corner. Solomon comes away with it. Penalty's over. Peterson's out of the box. He gets the pass from Solomon on and off his stick. And it slides into that far side. Couple of bodies there. Florida Gulf Coast wins the battle. They get it into the neutral zone. Slapped right back by Victor Hugo. And he'll head off for a change as NC State will switch things up. A little under 7 minutes to go in the period now. Along that far wall. Wristed back in by Ricky Frosch. Along the near half wall. Back for Miles Ferrone, who sends it into that corner. Back to Ferrone once more. Playing catch with Arini, and they'll get knocked off the puck, and here come the Eagles. Potential 2-on-1 brewing. Wrist shot, it looked like Griffin Hunt got a piece of it. And then off the elbow, where the crossbar and the post meet. But a great chance there for Florida Gulf Coast. It was Carlson with the opportunity. And NC State a little bit lucky there that they're not down two.
It looked like he kind of cleanly rang it off the crossbar after the great penalty kill by the Ice Pack, never putting their goaltender at risk. That entire two-man disadvantage. We'll see if they can build off that momentum and maybe score one of their own before heading into the locker room for the third period.
Sark will take the draw against Verreau here in the near circle. Gulf Coast able to control. Wrist shot not on net. Over to the far corner. Ferrone finds Solomon out by the red line. Nice little aerial pass to the near side for Matt Miller. Miller forced off the puck. It'll be picked up by the Eagles. Over to the far side. Backhanded up the boards. Pinching in. Ferrone slaps it back deep. Ricky Frosch going into pressure. Has a man covering for him in Zarek, who holds the blue line. Behind the net, Solomon and Miller there for the Pack. And they'll force it all the way around to that far corner. Four-man scrum ends quickly as Florida Gulf Coast comes away with the loose puck. And that's one place that NC State has not been as strong as they'd like to be throughout this weekend so far, and that's puck battles along the board. We've seen a lot of those, Max, go Florida Gulf Coast's way.
And yeah, there's some element of being in the right place at the right time, but, you know, just got to be tough, get good position on the boards. You have to be pinned there. You got to be strong on the puck. Just try to get it to a teammate, or if the situation calls for it, just pin that puck to the boards.
Puck thrown into the near corner. Florida Gulf Coast looking to dump in chase. And chasing after it now, Jack Cohen in quickly. Wrist shot sticked away by Griffin Hunt. and into the near corner where it can be shoveled up the wall. Quick battle there. Puck squirts loose to the middle. Peterson the first to it for NC State. He'll carry it down the near wall. Knocked off the puck nicely by Sam Storley. And Florida Gulf Coast looks to break out once more. Up that far wall. At the red line, O'Rourke shuts it down. Cross ice for Peterson. NC State back on the attack. Loose puck collected by Alex Robinson. Robinson dispossessed in that corner. Florida Gulf Coast lifts it back out once more. Devin Halko there to meet it at his own blue line for NC State. Looking up for Robinson, and they can't connect on the blue line to blue line pass. This will be icing. NC State will have to keep the same 5 bodies out there for now. And an offensive zone face-off for Gulf Coast.
FGCU looking to continue their dominant performance in this period. Another offensive zone draw. We'll see if they can generate another scoring opportunity.
It'll be Jack Cohen winning the draw over Riley Johnson. Florida Gulf Coast will set up the attack. They can't connect on the pass back to the blue line. That'll give NC State a chance to get a quick change with some tired bodies on the ice. They do get 2 of their 3 forwards off. Riley Johnson still out there, though, as well as that tired D pairing. Wrist shot to the middle. Blocker saved by Hunt. Loose out in the slot, and a whistle came quickly. It was a great chance on the doorstep for Seth Cohen on the near side. We'll get another look at it here. And the whistle came. You can't hear the whistle on the instant replay, but you can actually see there for a moment the official kind of tap his chest. I think that was a my bad. He lost sight of the puck, and that's the rule for the official. You lose sight, you blow the whistle. And even though he blew it early there, Seth Cohen did miss a pretty wide open net. But another good chance there. And Florida Gulf Coast really carrying the play here in the second period.
I imagine they would have been quite upset if he didn't push that through the crease and got it in the net. No harm, no foul.
NC State able to win a team battle on that face-off, and they're going to come in offsides. Miscommunication between Breshingham and Arini. I think Breshingham was looking for the headman pass, and it didn't come, and he ends up in a little bit too early. 4:03 left in the second period. It's 3 unanswered goals for Florida Gulf Coast here this period. That has them on top 3-2. NC State looking to bounce back, though. Face-off on top of the Gulf Coast blue line. NC State in control. They'll get it deep and chase after it. Arini in on the forecheck behind the net. Nice job handling the pressure there for Kyle Roy. Up the far side, he finds an open teammate, Wyatt Engelman. Engelman wrists it in. Pinching in Beard in that near corner. Finds a teammate in Cantwell behind the net. Cantwell will pin it there. Battling with Victor Hugo up the wall. Held in by Florida Gulf Coast. Now Engelman knocked off the puck. It'll be collected by Garrett Arini. Arini needs a change, so he gains the red line and sends it in. And a fresh line out there for NC State. Chance out in front as it's mishandled. And NC State can't put it home. Mazakowski now on the wall. To the blue line for Solomon. He's got space down that far left wing. Powers in front. Backhand pass. Loose puck in the slot. And NC State can't get a clean shot away. Solomon throws it at the net. Hits a body in front. Lots of traffic there. And a couple of good chances. Solomon again. Blocked once more. Florida Gulf Coast trying to get it out. Stopped there by Zarek. He'll control along the wall. Elevates it to the middle. Bounces over the stick of Solomon. And it'll be slapped into the NC State bench by Florida Gulf Coast. This will stay in the Gulf Coast defensive zone. And here's a look at that. And that's the fourth, at least the fourth time we've seen somebody misplay a puck. And we're getting later in the period, so the ice isn't quite as clean now. But it does seem like we're seeing some pretty frequent mishandling of the puck, which is uncharacteristic for these two teams.
Yeah, a lot of pucks getting whiffed on, a lot of them going off the heel of the stick. Not sure what exactly was causing that, other than maybe just pure coincidence. But
NC State back on the attack off the draw. One-handed in front by Solomon. But nobody there to put it home for NC State. Florida Gulf Coast on the attack once again. Wrapped around the near wall. Miller first to it for NC State. He'll lift it up and out. And into the neutral zone. Zarek trying to get a stick to it. Miller there to help, and he comes away with it. Matt Miller approaching in. The shot is denied by Nussbaum. Got to keep an eye out for Matt Miller. He's had a very good game here tonight on that line with Zarek and Solomon. We'll get another look at it, and that right there is a perfect example of what I would kind of describe as layered support. You've got Zarek going in there first. He kind of jars it loose and leaves it for Matt Miller to pick up.
Yeah, Miller trying to go short side, top shelf. A little wrister, just couldn't quite fit it into that tiny little window in the corner. It remains 3-2.
Florida Gulf Coast wins the defensive zone draw. They slap it around behind their own net and out. NC State will reset. It's Hugo in his own end. Feeling some pressure. Nice job stepping out of it. Looking up the near side for Peterson, who wasn't ready for it. Florida Gulf Coast turns it back. Lifted over the net and back behind. Chasing after it now, Nick Panfin. Knocked loose all the way up that far wall. Peterson first to it for NC State. He's got Robinson with him. Looking to the middle. Big collision in front. Stumbling down Peterson. And NC State going to get their first power play of the night. It's an interference call. We'll get another look at it here. You look at Robinson cutting through. Easy call on the hit when Robinson did not have the puck. And we talked about special teams. Here's NC State's chance.
Peterson knocked to the ground there in front of the net. Still attempting to finish the play. Remarkable effort there to continue playing despite being pushed down to the ice.
And barring a goal here from NC State, the Pack will be on the power play for the remainder of the period. 1:45 left in the period. It is a 2-minute interference penalty to number 15, Ty Lasker. Gulf Coast able to clear immediately. Griffin Hunt will set it on a tee. Hugo back for it. And NC State will set up.
That clearance resulting from yet another puck being whiffed on, this time in the offensive zone by Chris Solomon.
Riley Johnson gains the offensive zone. Looking to establish an attack here. Solomon along the blue line. He'll send it into the corner. Turning with it, Matt Miller. Miller backhanded up the wall for Solomon. They'll leave it in the middle for Johnson. Back off the boards to Miller in the corner. Looks to spin it out to the near circle for Solomon, but didn't quite see where he was passing it. Stolen away and cleared out. Florida Gulf Coast able to get one penalty killer off on the clearance, so NC State dealing with some tired penalty killers here. Maybe a chance to create an opportunity. Under a minute to play in the period. Peterson down low, spun on net by Robinson, and covering up Ryan Nussbaum. And we've sung his praises plenty, but coming up big in a couple of situations for Ryan Nussbaum.
And not necessarily the most high danger offensive chance there. He was already in great position. Just had the pads down in the butterfly, able to cover up. And we'll see if he's able to fend off the remainder of the chances for the final 44 seconds of this period.
A little under a minute left on the power play as well. We'll have about 15 seconds of carryover if the penalty doesn't come to an end before the period closes out. But a shorthanded chance here for Florida Gulf Coast. Pass to the middle, denied nicely by Hugo. Still in control, though, is Dylan Cantwell. He's got Engelman with him. Backhanded to the middle. Engelman is retreated to defend. And NC State will take back possession. Skating it up the middle for the Pack as Ian O'Rourke quickly loses control. Gulf Coast clears it back in. Now down to 12 seconds in the period. O'Rourke back to collect it in the far corner of the NC State end. Stretch pass looking for Peterson. That's too long. And with 3 seconds left in the second, it'll be an offensive zone face-off for Florida Gulf Coast. But it was a decent start to the power play, Max, but they kind of got disjointed as it went along.
Yeah, story of the period. A lot of miscommunications, not necessarily connecting on passes. Barring something, happening from this offensive zone draw, IcePack will somehow find themselves trailing going into the locker room for the third period.
Maybe a quick chance here for Florida Gulf Coast if they can win the draw. Jack Cohen up against NC State's captain, Eric Todd. They'll tie it up. Todd falls on top of it, and the clock will wind out and end period number 2. And Max, it was really just about all Florida Gulf Coast there.
Yeah, that's the response that the team anticipated, that we seem to anticipate coming into that period. I don't know if they necessarily expected that level of energy and dominance coming out here in the second, and now the IcePack will have to look for a response of their own in the third.
Two teams get a quick 15-minute break. They will clean the ice, and as you mentioned, Max, NC State will have to respond in the third. It was 3 straight for Florida Gulf Coast in the second period. They lead the Ice Pack 3-2 after 2. We'll be back at the intermission right after this.
Build it, you demolish it. The legendary Homewrecker Burrito. Come build yours today with 20+ fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE. From the top of D.H. Hill Library, Don Diablo.
Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State. Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
So with the fans, I mean, it sucks not having them here this year because they're an integral part to any time we have a home game. Their support and helping us get to nationals 2 years ago was just incredible, and how the community kind of rallied behind us and helped us get there. I mean, that was amazing. So if we could even have some semblance or replication of what happened 2 years ago this year, that'd be absolutely unreal. This year specifically, we have a really, really good shot to, find some success and have a shot at winning that national title. And, the boys in the room believe we can do it. The coaches believe in us. Any support we can get would be amazing. You can donate at www.icepackhockey.com. This would help our team get to nationals, pay for flights, hotels, any transportation like buses and things like that. So we'd really appreciate your help in getting us there and helping us achieve our ultimate goal of winning that national championship. Thank you.
We're back at the second intermission here on PackTV. NC State now trailing Florida Gulf Coast 3-2 after 2 periods. Chris Lehman now alongside goaltending coach Alex Rossetto of NC State. And coach, a great first period. You come out a lot of energy, take a 2-0 lead, and obviously you're looking at it more from a goaltending perspective. But what changed in that second period that turned things around for Florida Gulf Coast?
I don't think much changed from our perspective. We had I think like 3 or 4 prime opportunities we didn't actually cash in on there. We just need to take advantage of those, right? I mean, like there was 2 turnovers right in front of the net. We got to put those in the net. Unfortunately, we didn't, and the score turned around.
And obviously, as the goaltending coach, I think I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about goaltending. Daniel gave you guys a good performance last night, didn't get the win, but you've got another strong performance, I think, brewing so far for Griffin Hunt.
Absolutely, absolutely. I can't blame Griffin on any of those. I think we need to play a little bit cleaner defense in front of them, kind of get those rebounds off to the side. Griff's doing a great job. He's out there challenging today. These guys can shoot. I mean, they're not ranked number 8 for nothing, right? So, hopefully he'll come out and just play the third period strong here.
You kind of lead me there into the last question. And as a team overall, obviously we talked a little bit about the bounce back ability of this team coming into this game, within a game. How do you bounce back after a 3-goal period for Florida Gulf Coast?
It just starts with you don't get down on yourself, right? You look to the next puck, you look to the next shot, and you just keep your head up, right? And that's all we can do is just take it 1 minute at a time and do the best we can.
There's goaltending coach Alex Rossetto of NC State. We've got 20 minutes left in this contest. When we come back, myself and Max Gorin will talk a little bit more about what happened in the second period and get you ready for the third. 3-2 Florida Gulf Coast over NC State. We'll be back on PackTV.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
At Potbelly, everything you find is a little bit happier, sweeter, fresher, groovier, and yummier. Why? Because at Potbelly, we know it's never enough to just eat lunch. You gotta feed your smile. Swing by for our new turkey club, handcrafted to make you smile.
We build it, you demolish it. The legendary Homewrecker Burrito. Come build yours today with 20+ fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE.
TV after two periods, 3-2 Florida Gulf Coast, and we talked about it a little bit with goaltending coach Alex Rossetto just a moment ago, Max, about that period, and it really seemed like from the NC State perspective, it's not quite as much about what they weren't doing in that period as it was about what Florida Gulf Coast was doing, and we really saw what kind of a team that Eagle squad is.
Yeah, I mean, it was an absolute onslaught from the Eagles in the second period, coming out strong, coming out fast, and making their presence known, resulting in 3 goals and the lead for Florida Gulf Coast heading into this third period of this final game of the 2-game set.
Yeah, and one thing we've talked a good amount about is special teams, and it really hasn't been that big of an impact. We've had some power plays, but neither team has been able to convert, and I think NC State's penalty kill has looked pretty strong so far.
Yeah, not allowing any power play goals tonight as compared to last night where they allowed all the goals scored on the power play. Definitely an improvement there. We'll see if they can sort of bring that energy to the 5v5 game and have that same sense of urgency when it's just even strength.
And you're getting a look at some of the highlights from the period right now. And NC State, as Coach Rossetto mentioned, a few close chances and just weren't able to finish. And right now that kind of seems to be the difference maker.
Yeah, you saw some of the usual suspects like Chris Solomon, getting in front of the net, getting those scoring chances. I can remember Colby Peterson drawing a penalty while generating a scoring chance at the same time. They just have to capitalize on those chances and find that finish and able to stay in this game.
Yeah, so certainly with 20 minutes left, it's not over yet. For NC State, we looked at it last night, and this game right now feels, while NC State's playing better, it feels kind of similar. They got that good start. They had the lead early, a little bit better even so than they did in the game last night, but it's Florida Gulf Coast pushing back, and now NC State's got to find a response.
One more period to separate tonight's game from last night's contest. We'll see if the team has that resiliency necessary to come back, get back in this game, and tie the season series.
And there's one of those keys for the game we had earlier on. We'll talk about how NC State can bounce back and how they can flip this result from last night on the other side of this break. It's NC State trailing Florida Gulf Coast 3-2 after 40 minutes.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Welcome back to PackTV's coverage of NC State Ice Pack hockey. 3-2 Florida Gulf Coast over the Ice Pack right now. Chris Lehman and Max Gorin with you. Here at the second intermission, we're going to take a look ahead and see, what kind of adjustments NC State needs to make. And a little bit before we get into that, we talked a little bit with goaltending coach Rossetto about his netminder tonight and Griffin Hunt. And one thing that you really don't want to change too much is how nice the goaltending has been.
Yeah, he's had a solid game in terms of shots where he has a clear view of the shooter. He's done quite well. The snafus for the Ice Pack being rebounds and screens and just all those second opportunities that Florida Gulf Coast has generated. But in general, very solid play from Griffin Hunt.
Yeah, and something that seemed apparent as that period went on was the potency of that Florida Gulf Coast forecheck and how they were able to disrupt NC State through the neutral zone. How does NC State turn that around headed to the final period?
They need a strong forecheck of their own. Especially with all the puck misplays we've seen in this game. A coincidentally high number, perhaps. I doubt it's anything related necessarily to the facility or the ice conditions. Still, a strong forecheck, an active forecheck can create those big turnovers. That can be the difference in a close game like this.
And you mentioned that a couple of fan pucks have given both teams chances, so that's certainly something to keep an eye on headed to the third period. But one thing that NC State has done well, and I think they will continue to do well, that we've talked about, is getting in the way of those cross-ice passes, because when they've been able to do that, it really seems like they've been able to limit Florida Gulf Coast.
Yeah, they've been fantastic at the defensive end. They haven't given up too many of those first solid opportunities. Where Florida Gulf Coast has killed them is on those rebounds and those second chances. Once again, you just got to try to limit that, get that rebound control going from a goaltending standpoint, and maybe you'll find a goal of your own on the other end.
Well, we've talked a good amount about special teams. It hasn't played a huge impact yet, but NC State will have a 15-second power play remaining, so a chance maybe at least to get in and establish themselves in the offensive zone at the start of the period. Only a couple minutes away from restarting play right here at the Wake Competition Center. We'll be back with the third period on the other side. You're watching NC State hockey on PackTV.
Build it, you demolish it. The legendary Homewrecker Burrito. Come build yours today with 20+ fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE. From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? This is Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State. Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
So with the fans, It sucks not having them here this year because they're an integral part to any time we have a home game. Their support and helping us get to nationals 2 years ago was just incredible, and how the community kind of rallied behind us and helped us get there. I mean, that was amazing. So if we could even have some semblance or replication of what happened 2 years ago this year, that would be absolutely unreal. This year specifically, we have a really, really good shot to, find some success and have a shot at winning that national title. And, the boys in the room believe we can do it. The coaches believe in us. Any support we can get would be amazing. You can donate at www.icepackhockey.com. This would help our team get to nationals, pay for flights, hotels, any transportation like buses and things like that. So we'd really appreciate your help in getting us there and helping us achieve our ultimate goal of winning that national championship. Thank you.
And we're back here at the Weight Competition Center. 40 minutes down, 20 to go. Both teams back on the ice, just about ready to restart play. Before we do, we'll give you a quick rundown for those of you who may have missed the start of the game. NC State got off to a good start in the first period. About 12 and a half minutes in, they finally broke through. It was Matt Miller on a breakaway that made it 1-0. About 5 minutes later, beautiful passing play by that top line of Zarek, Solomon, and Miller. As they all factored in, it was Zarek finishing it off to make it 2-0, and that's where we stood after 20 minutes. But it was really an onslaught early from Florida Gulf Coast. They scored 2 goals in the first 6.5 minutes, added another one just after the 10-minute mark, and that's got us where we stand now. 3-2 Florida Gulf Coast. 15 seconds left on the penalty to Ty Lasker for interference. And NC State will control off the draw as we start up this third period. Chris Lehman, Max Gorin with you on PackTV. Pass to the middle, trying to set up the attack. Deflects off a skate, and now NC State will have to retreat. Power play has come to a close. NC State goes 0 for 1 now on the power play. Shot from the far circle. Whistles over top of Griffin Hunt. Chance from the near side. Easily gloved and handled. And we'll get a face-off in the NC State end.
NC State hoping to get a chance there of that 15 seconds of power play time, unable to even gain the zone really. And Florida Gulf Coast looking strong coming out of the intermission, ready to get started once again, 5v5.
Face off to the glove side of Griffin Hunt as NC State will look to defend off the draws. Florida Gulf Coast takes control behind the net. They'll work it out to the boards where it's taken away by Solomon. He'll move it through the neutral zone. Has it knocked off his stick to the far wall. Still able to get it deep. Matt Miller chasing after it now. Puck pops up in the air. Solomon gets a glove to it, but he's quickly knocked off the puck. And Florida Gulf Coast bringing it back out. Lundqvist throws it off of Mazikowski as he tried to dump it deep. Mazikowski gives an extra shove as the puck moves past him. And NC State will regroup in neutral ice. Riley Johnson on the near side. Cross ice, one time back across for Solomon, and he had a whistle.
Likely going to be a too many men penalty there.
Oh, we saw one of those last night from NC State. And their penalty box door is going to open up here. So I did not see a hand up from an official. And I'm waiting to see what kind of explanation they give to the bench and what kind of reaction we get. We can't hear all the way down on the ice, unfortunately, to understand exactly what just happened.
Robinson will step into the box there. It looked like Solomon was going to the bench when he received that pass. Perhaps a miscommunication there. It looked like he was trying to just get off, and perhaps the substitute already jumped on, and that would be too many men. So Florida Gulf Coast back on the power play.
And again, it'll be Robinson to serve, and this is an important kill for the Pack. If they're not able to kill it off, it's going to be a 2-goal lead for Florida Gulf Coast, which is going to feel a bit like deja vu from last night. Gulf Coast will set up behind their own net and bring it out. Plugging it up the near side. Seth Cohen knocked off the puck. NC State able to clear it back to the Eagle blue line. Swept back in. Hauke will chase after it and clear it right back out once more. Good start to this penalty kill for the Pack. They'll get a change on all 4 penalty killers, will NC State. And Florida Gulf Coast makes a change as well. So now they'll streak up that far side, back behind the net. Circling around about halfway through the power play now. Sent to the middle in a high slot. Rebound chance, they score. The initial shot came from Dylan Cantwell. And we'll wait to see when they emerge from the pile who finished it off. But it's now 4-2 Florida Gulf Coast, and it looks like it'll be number 3, Jack Cohen. We'll get a look at it here. And you see Halco, it looked like kind of snuck up into the slot, and that left Cohen open back on that back door.
And just another unfortunate bounce for the Ice Pack. But Florida Gulf Coast so good at getting their scorers, or just getting bodies in general, out in front and beside the net. Deflection went into the pads of Griffin Hunt, and then on the rebound. Easy to finish for the Eagles, and they will widen their lead to 2 goals.
So Cohen with his 2nd of the night. And Florida Gulf Coast in familiar territory, 4-2 lead. And NC State going to want a quick answer here. Gulf Coast controls off the face-off. Now Mazikowski at his own blue line for NC State, across to Hugo. Solomon will deflect it into the Eagles' defensive end, sent right back out. And again, it's Mazikowski shoveling it in. Back at the defense for Florida Gulf Coast. It'll be controlled there by Roy. Rink wide off the boards, a delayed offsides. NC State will have to back off. And again, Florida Gulf Coast resets. They've got space up that far left side. Elevated out, glove down by Mazikowski. He'll stick it forward, but nobody from NC State able to control. Florida Gulf Coast turns it around once again. About 3 minutes gone in this 3rd period. A quick goal from the Eagles has doubled their lead, and NC State, after going up 4-0 or 2-0, has given up 4 unanswered goals. Here comes Matt Miller, gains the red line, pitchforks it in on Nussbaum, who gets a stick to it and directs it to the far side. D to D, Goldman finds Haskins, back over to Goldman. He'll look things over. Backhanded up the near wall for Engelman, who sends it behind the NC State net. Griffin Hunt back there to leave it for the defenseman Ferrone, and Miles Ferrone slides it up the near side. NC State's breakout pass intercepted. Loose puck in the neutral zone. Pedersen takes a hit as he tries to gain the zone. It'll be Kyle Roy with it. Goes D to D, swept up the far side with speed. Here comes Beard. Beard cutting to the net, and a nice poke check from Griffin Hunt. Big play by the NC State netminder on that breakaway chance. And he might have another one coming. Florida Gulf Coast right back to it, thrown out in front, hit a stick and never made it on goal. It'll be thrown through traffic right through the legs of Ferrone, and Griffin Hunt in the right position to make that save. Swept back in by Cantwell on the far side. Wrist shot coming, hit the side of the net from the far point. It'll be chased down by Wyatt Engelman on the far side. Puck pops up in the air, glove down. Riley Johnson has some speed. He's going to fly down that right wing. Off angle shot, missed wide. And Florida Gulf Coast, Aaron pass to the middle, high slot, Arini, shot, saved by Nussbaum. Johnson backhand pass to the near point, intercepted. Mason Lundquist will take it with speed. He'll go in alone as the rest of his team off on a change. And a great job by Lundquist back behind the net. Forces it into the corner, but NC State going to be first to it. Moving along, Drew Breshingham sends it in. Nussbaum on the side of his goal, slaps it up the near side. Arini there to come away with it for NC State. Eric Todd there to help, and he'll sweep it on goal. Nussbaum went to cover it, mishandled it. And unfortunately for NC State, no one there to pick up the loose change. Florida Gulf Coast will attempt to break out once again. Connor Black backhands it out into neutral ice. Halco goes rink wide, picked up by O'Rourke off the boards. He'll get it deep. First one to it, Breshingham. Back to the point for Halco. His wrist shot blocked at the blue line by Cohen. He just about had a breakaway, but couldn't get it out of his skates. Again, stretch pass, stepping in front, I should say, there was Halco. Cohen in control once again, lurking in the high slot. Can't put it on frame. It skitters behind the NC State net. Halco lifts it up the far side and out. Arini looking to bank it off the wall for Solomon coming off the bench. They couldn't connect, but a loose puck will be collected by NC State's Chris Solomon. He'll force his way down that far wall through a couple of Eagles. who clear it up and out. Hugo got a glove to it but couldn't hold the zone. He does send it right back in. First to it is Justin Goldman. Sent around the wall to the near side. He's got Seth Cohen. Cohen across to his brother Jack. Jack will lift it deep, and Jack Cohen off for a change. And NC State an opportunity here to break out and head on the attack. Parker Zarek meanders through the neutral zone. He'll chase after the dump in, but can't get to it, and Florida Gulf Coast reverses once more. Here comes Cohen. Seth Cohen looks to the middle. Reaching out with a stick was Joe Saracini, but he was met there by Griffin Hunt, who steered it behind the net. Along the near wall, they fight for it. Elevated back to the blue line, gloved down by Haskins, and his wrist shot ends up out of play. And we'll get another look at this chance for Florida Gulf Coast. Not a bad little try there from Seth Cohen. Just a change up there, and it kind of left Griffin Hunt to decide very quickly, Max, whether he would come out and challenge or not.
You know, you don't want your goaltender to make unnecessarily risky plays, but when it's the right time, getting out there, getting aggressive with the poke check can be a pretty exciting play. It typically yields favorable results.
And that's the second time this period that Hunt has made a nice play with his stick. And again, I don't think we can emphasize enough, the goaltending has been good for NC State and has really helped to keep them in these two games, at least in these last two periods, both last night and tonight. NC State able to clear off the face-off, and Florida Gulf Coast breaks right back out. Saracini, little chip and chase action down into the near corner, forces it behind the net, and it looks like it popped up into the netting over top of the glass, and NC State will have a face-off in front of Griffin Hunt. .52 left in the game. NC State trailing 4-2 to Florida Gulf Coast. Again, a top 10 matchup in ACHA Division II hockey. The Pack coming in ranked 5th, and it is a 9 seed, or a 9 ranking, I should say, for Florida Gulf Coast at the moment, although they're looking very good tonight. NC State slowly but surely able to chop the puck out of their own end, but knocked right back in. Behind the net, they'll reset. Johnson, hard off the boards, looking for Peterson, who was not ready for that. And the long pass taken away. Storley to Cantwell, and now across to the far side for Lasker. They'll drop it back again for Cantwell. Dylan Cantwell weaving through the middle of the ice, looked forward for Brandon Beard. They couldn't connect, but still a chance brewing for the Eagles. High slot wrist shot, hit something and missed just wide on that far side. Back out in front, one-timer, they score. What a finish. Great pass from Cantwell. And he found Wyatt Engelman to make it 5-2. We'll get a look at it here. And a nice close-up look.
Just one of those blind passes into the slot. But he had a receiver in the slot, able to bang that one home to extend the lead once again for Florida Gulf Coast. That is 5 unanswered goals for the Eagles.
And again, the goal goes to number 14, Wyatt Engelman. That's his first of the night. And the Eagles will control as we restart play. Engelman gets another touch to it. Mazikowski at his own blue line sends it back. Eric Todd will chip it in and go after it. Slapped to the near side by the goaltender Nussbaum. Cleared the rest of the way out. Mazikowski at the red line wipes it right back in, but not very far. Florida Gulf Coast right back in. Cantwell looking to split the D, and a nice job by Mazikowski and his defensive partner Hugo to close the doors and shut that down. Gulf Coast still on the attack with 11 minutes, 20 seconds left in this game. Pushing and shoving in that near corner, and we've got a hand up and a penalty coming. It's going to be a cross-checking penalty, and it's going to go against NC State, it looks like.
Mazikowski, it'll be after the play, kind of moved the puck back towards the corner, and then as soon as he lost it, he just turned around and gave that shove to Florida Gulf Coast player. That's not a penalty you want to take. It's a bit of an undisciplined move. You can't let the game get away from you. There are still 11 minutes left on the clock. It's not necessarily out of reach, but you can't be putting yourself further down like that.
And Florida Gulf Coast will go right to work on the power play. At the point, slap shot. Missed wide on the far side. Collected, though, by Joe Saracini. He'll dance with it. Throws it towards the net. Hit a skate and didn't make it to the goal. But the Eagles' power play continuing to work behind the net. Pinned there. Panfin comes away with it. He'll shield the puck. Wraps it back in. And a nice job by Hugo to rub out his man. And NC State able to clear it to the blue line, but not out. First 40 seconds gone on this power play, but Gulf Coast has held the zone the whole time. Along the near side, now it's Haskins. Down the wall, wrist shot from Saracini, hit a leg. And back to the wall they go. This time NC State able to get a clear path to get that one out of the zone. And they'll get a change on the penalty kill halfway through it. Florida Gulf Coast moves it back forward. Lasker looks through the middle, finds a wide open Brandon Beard. Beard to the net, and his wrist shot high and wide as he was shooting it through some traffic and couldn't find the net. Storley now throws it off that far wall for Cantwell, who lifts it along. Beard chases it down. Spinning pass, beautiful find on the near side. Wyatt Engelman takes the shot, and it's shouldered away and out of play by Griffin Hunt. Let's take another look at that pass. And we talked about chemistry for NC State. That right there is chemistry. Beard knew exactly where Engelman was going to be.
Yeah, they always seem to know where their teammates are. Great shoulder save there by Griffin Hunt, able to defend away the wrist shot going up high. Pack can hang their hat on the penalty kill tonight.
I still have 30 seconds to kill here. Right now, Florida Gulf Coast 1 for 3 on the man advantage tonight. Their first power play goal of the game coming on the goal by Jack Cohen earlier this period. Engelman sends a bouncing puck behind the NC State net. The Pack collect and send it right back out. Less than 10 seconds left on the man advantage, so that should finish it off. And NC State can try to put some pressure on here. Under 10 minutes to go, they trail by 3. Storley around to the far corner for his defensive partner, Ty Lasker. Back to Sam Storley. He'll wrap it around the wall, collected by Lundquist, who goes rink wide to the far side. That's going to open up some space for Florida Gulf Coast. Carrying it forward is Seth Cohen. He'll shovel it behind the net. First one to it is Connor Black, and he'll pitchfork it into the netting behind the goal, and we'll get another face-off with 8:54 to play.
NC State able to kill off another penalty there. They have given up that one power play goal, but overall, very strong play from the penalty kill tonight. Denying a lot of those opportunities, jamming up that middle of the ice, not letting Florida Gulf Coast get into those prime scoring areas.
Face-off will be to the far side of Griffin Hunt. Riley Johnson will take it for NC State up against Lundquist of Florida Gulf Coast, and right off the draw there's a whistle. They'll redo it. Shots have slowly started to favor Florida Gulf Coast as they win it forward and look to press on the forecheck. Quick breakout for NC State. Peterson finds Riley Johnson. Wrist shot sticked away by Nussbaum, and the puck will be lifted up and into the Gulf Coast bench. Faceoff will stay in the Eagles' defensive end. And if you're NC State, you might want to draw something up on this faceoff to try and create. Because if you're going to mount a comeback, you need a goal, and you need a goal in about the next minute and a half to really start to make things interesting. Johnson on the faceoff against Cohen. Cohen wins it for Florida Gulf Coast. Big hit at the blue line by Victor Hugo. And he'll dislodge the puck. It skitters all the way down to the NC State end, and the Pack will sweep it around the boards. Deflected off a stick, so no icing as it ends up all the way behind the Eagles' net. And they'll break out once again. Up the near wall for Seth Cohen. He'll look to the middle. Nice job stepping in front by Peterson. And now Colby Peterson swings it to the middle. Looking to dance around an opponent is Alex Robinson, but he can't get back to the puck. And Florida Gulf Coast will send it deep. And It almost looks like, well, Gulf Coast, Max, has played somewhat of a dump and chase game for the majority of the night. I think that's what they've gone to here to try and run some clock and force NC State to go the full length of the rink.
Yeah, I mean, much like a team does on the penalty kill, dump it in, just salt some time off the clock.
Heavy wrister from the far point from Halko didn't get through. Zarek fights for it, wins that battle behind the net. He finds Miller. Miller shielding a man off the puck. Back to Halko. His one-timer is knocked down by the glove of Seth Cohen, who will skate it forward. Cohen gains the blue line. He'll look to one-hand it towards the net. Steered it wide and behind the net, though, and chases it down. Cohen finally knocked off the puck, but he's able to work it deep. And Florida Gulf Coast still on the attack. And NC State just starting to look worn down here a little bit. Dancing out in front. Chance stopped. Rebound is swallowed up as well, it looks like. We'll get one more look at it. A little bit too much room there for Joe Saracini. Nice little move around Halko. And a good challenge there. You saw a little push from Griffin Hunt to make himself bigger.
Fans, the NC State Ice Pack are ranked number 5 in the nation and have qualified for the ACHA National Tournament. They need your help to fund the trip. Any support you can give is greatly appreciated. More information on that can be found at icepackhockey.com.
Certainly want to help this team go back to nationals for a second time. They'll be headed to North Dakota in April if all goes as planned. Under 7 minutes to go now. NC State starting to run out of time, down by 3. Arini rubbed out along the far wall. Puck swept around the boards, held in on the near side by Storley. Sends it caddy corner for Nick Panfin. Panfin centering pass stolen away. Mazikowski will skate it out from the defense. He finds Arini. Chris Cossing with Breshingham. And sent deep. A scrum along the wall. NC State comes away with control. Sent to the middle by Todd. Nobody there. Slow roller left in front. Storley gets a stick to it and hacks it out. Now they'll fight along that far side. Storley knocked into the boards awkwardly. He looked a little bit shaken up, but he'll get up and continue to play. Todd looking to the middle. Speaking of Storley, nice job getting back on Breshingham there to knock it loose. And now the Eagles looking to break out. Can't connect on that breakout pass. O'Rourke has it. He'll go across to the far side for Mazikowski. Sent deep. Set on a tee by Ryan Nussbaum behind the net. And Florida Gulf Coast has some room they want to change, so they'll lift it up and out. They do have some fresh bodies on the ice to forecheck. That'll stall NC State out momentarily, but now they've got some speed to move forward. It's Griffin Burke with a shot right into the gut of Ryan Nussbaum. And something that's become a little bit more apparent, Max, to me as this game has worn on. State's getting a good number of shots from further outside. The problem is they're not generating many rebounds off those chances.
Yeah, generating rebounds. Aiming for those low pad shots to try to shoot some out to a teammate. They're just not really getting it here in the third period.
5:27 to go as Florida Gulf Coast wins another draw in their defensive end. Clear is stopped up at the near blue line by O'Rourke. Vedetta and Fong fighting for it along the wall. Again, O'Rourke shuts down the clearance. Vedetta forcing his way out in front, loses the puck, but right to Griffin Burke. Burke sends it behind the net. Helping out, there's Vedetta. Vedetta and Burke behind the net, unable to shut that down. And it'll be pitchforked off the glass and out by Florida Gulf Coast. That was Joe Saracini who was able to clear it out. And now NC State regroups in their defensive end. O'Rourke, forward for Fong, lost it in his skates. And NC State offside will have to check up and regroup. While they have some time, they'll change. A little stick lift, and a Gulf Coast player goes down to the ice. I think he might have wanted a call on that one, but we'll play on.
A bit of a Oscar-worthy performance there from the Gulf player. Dropping to his knees, throwing his hands up.
Wyatt Engelman moving forward. Over to the far side, cutting in. Backhand chance is shut down. Cantwell with a good opportunity. And we'll get one more look at that. Nice little move by Cantwell to get into the low slot. But again, Griffin Hunt doing a pretty nice job. He's given up 5 goals on 29 shots, but those numbers don't reflect what he's done tonight, I don't think.
I think his presence in the net has been very solid. Just a couple unfortunate rebounds and great positioning in front of the net for Gulf Coast led to a lot of these 5 goals.
And just like last night, we're starting to see Florida Gulf Coast, well, not starting to, they have been throughout this period, and as the game has worn on, they've asserted themselves and really forced their play on NC State. Pack trying to set up in the offensive zone. Glove down by Ferrone at the blue line. His slap shot hit a stick and deflected wide. Nussbaum not ready for that change of direction, but it didn't hit the net. Moving forward with it now, Justin Goldman. He's dispossessed. Robinson floats it to the middle. Here comes a speedy Riley Johnson. Johnson squares up and his shot is blocked from the top of the near circle. Just nothing seems to be getting to the net right now for NC State. We're down to 3:24 to go in the game. Shot from the top of the far circle, and they find the back of the net again. 6-2 Florida Gulf Coast, and that one looked, as we get another view of it here, and we have those center ice angles, but based on where that shot beat Griffin Hunt, I think, and the goal goes to Brandon Beard, I think Griffin Hunt may have left a little too much space on that near side post.
And just another one of those zone entries by Florida Gulf Coast. They bring it down the left side, drop it to that trailing player for the wrist shot, fired at top shelf. NC State just looking exhausted. Hockey's a tiring game, and they have played 2 games against a very strong, tough, physical opponent, and it is starting to show.
That's the second of the night for Brandon Beard to make it 6-2. 3 minutes left in the contest, and NC State will look to try and get some positives out of the final 3 minutes here, as a 4-goal deficit is a pretty hefty one to overcome. Sliding through the offensive zone, Solomon loses it in front, and a chance fanned on by Miller. And here comes Florida Gulf Coast. Gaining the red line, dumping it deep is Jack Cohen. Cohen has had a solid game tonight. He also has a pair of goals. And now NC State looking cross ice. Hugo charging up. Couldn't get to the puck first, and the Eagles send it right back into the NC State end. Pack in the middle of a change, pass up the near wall. Icing will be waved off. And Florida Gulf Coast has some space to work it out of their own end. Over along the far side, it's Laviolette. Working it forward, it's in the skates of Kyle Roy, and looks like the Eagles will come in offsides. Face-off will come out into neutral ice with 2:09 to play.
The defending nationals champs showing why they are so successful. They look like a fantastically conditioned team. Does not look like they have lost a single step into the late stages of this final game. You need conditioning if you want to win games.
And credit where credit's due. They have come from behind, although they only trailed 1-0 in the game yesterday. They have come from behind in both of these games here this weekend. Little chip shot that'll dribble in on Nussbaum. He's got nowhere to go with it, so he'll freeze it for another face-off. Down under 2 minutes to play in this one. But the bounce-back ability of this Florida Gulf Coast team, I think, has been the difference between these two teams. And back a while back when I was in school calling games here for NC State, that the measuring stick game and the game that taught NC State what was missing and what they needed to make the next step to become a better program came from the games against Liberty. And I think you could say you're seeing something similar here with Florida Gulf Coast. You take that next step up to play a team that's on that same tier, maybe a little bit better than Liberty, and they're showing you what it takes to win a national championship right here. 1:20 to go in the game. A 4-goal advantage for Florida Gulf Coast as they send it deep, and NC State will set up the breakout from behind their own net. Up the near side, Griffin Burke's pass is intercepted. Eagles will hold the zone. Saraceni moving down the wall. Swings one out in front on the turnaround pass and just didn't have anyone there to connect with. But still, NC State struggling to get it out. They will push it out to the red line, but no further. Loose puck right at that center ice circle. NC State able to come away with it. Griffin Burke and Mazikowski there on a team effort, but they're still not able to get a shot on goal. Down to 30 seconds left in the game. As Florida Gulf Coast moves down the near side, it's Lundquist into the zone. Looking to chip it past the NC State defenseman. Nice job over on that near side by Hugo to clear it up. Slapped right back by Lasker. O'Rourke will carry it forward. He's knocked off the puck. Florida Gulf Coast sends it into neutral ice once more. Mazikowski will lift it deep. And it looks like these two teams will let the final seconds wind off the clock. And Florida Gulf Coast will come away with 2 wins over NC State here at the Weight Competition Center this weekend. And Max, good starts to both of these games for NC State, not the finishes they were looking for.
Yeah, you got to keep up that level of energy for the entire game, and you got to just keep pushing with pedal to the metal. Kind of seems like they maybe sat on their hands a little bit in the later stages of both of these games, allowed a very, very good team to get into a groove. They took over, and Florida Gulf Coast coming away with 2 wins.
These two teams will give a little show of sportsmanship as they shake hands and get ready to head off the ice for NC State. Good test this weekend in these two contests. Didn't quite find a way to come away with a win, even though there were plenty of positives to take away and certainly some lessons that NC State will need to learn to take that next step as a program. So the final count, 6-2 in favor of Florida Gulf Coast, who fell behind 2-0 initially and are able to come away with the win. We're going to step aside. We'll have some post-game coverage coming up. We'll talk about what those next steps are, as well as take a look back at this game for NC State. Final count, Florida Gulf Coast 6, NC State 2. We'll be right back on PackTV.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
At Potbelly, everything you find is a little bit happier, sweeter, fresher, groovier, and yummier. Why? Because at Potbelly, we know it's never enough to just eat lunch. You gotta feed your smile. Swing by for our new turkey club, handcrafted to make you smile.
We build it, you demolish it. The legendary Homewrecker Burrito. Come build yours today with 20+ fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE.
Tough loss tonight for the NC State Ice Pack as they fall 6-2 at the hands of the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles. Chris Lehman and Max Gorin here with you post-game on PackTV. And Max, we'll just start with your overall thoughts. We've talked about it a little bit. Good start, but not the finish that NC State wanted.
Yeah, I mean, after the first period, Florida Gulf Coast just simply imposing their will on the Ice Pack for the rest of the game. 3 goals in the second, 3 goals in the third, coming away with a 6-2 victory.
And another thing we mentioned, goaltending. Another solid performance for NC State. It's just not much you can do if you're Griffin Hunt with the traffic you had to deal with in front and those second chance opportunities.
Yeah, winning teams get to the net and they bury those rebounds and they get those deflections. That's just what smart, great hockey teams do. Florida Gulf Coast showing why they are a highly ranked team and a national champion.
And as I said, this is another stepping stone for NC State as a program. There's a lot that you can learn from a team like Florida Gulf Coast, who has been there, done that, so to speak. They are, as you mentioned, defending back-to-back national champions since they weren't able to complete the season last year. So again, a lot of things that you can learn from this team. And what did you see? You talked about the dominating performance from Florida Gulf Coast. What really led to their ability to control the game?
I mean, they had great legs. You know, they never seemed to lose a step the entire time for either game. In this 2-game set, they just had a couple guys that were all over the ice. A couple I saw in particular were the Cohen brothers, Seth and Jack, all over the ice, in front of the net, burying rebounds, puck keep-ins on the power play, offensive possessions, all kinds of things like that. They're a strong team. They are well-conditioned, and they make smart plays. And those things combined is a winning formula.
And that's something that NC State would like to get to, where we see them do that against some of the teams that they play in the ACCHL, like they did against Coastal last week. But it's another step up to do that against a team like Florida Gulf Coast. Again, they did get one win. They go 1-3 against Florida Gulf Coast in their 4 contests. And I think NC State might not be too unhappy, I should say. They might be pleased to see this Florida Gulf Coast team up in North Dakota. Next month. We'll see if they're able to do that. But now it's about looking forward for NC State. And what's that mentality? Because you do have the ACCHL tournament coming up, and then, as we mentioned, nationals in North Dakota after that.
Yeah, they'll have a bit of a break here, some time to regroup, meet, practice, do whatever they can to prepare themselves for the next tier of competition going into the postseason. I expect Coach Healy will sort of light a fire underneath them and make sure that they are giving their all, 110% every single day. And perhaps we'll see even stronger effort moving forward in the pursuit of some postseason success and chasing a national title.
You mentioned the head coach, Tim Healy, there, and what he expects out of his team. And we'll hear from the man himself on the other side of the break. Before we head out, we're going to take one more quick break, and we'll be back with the head coach here on PackTV.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
At Potbelly, everything you find is a little bit happier, sweeter, fresher, groovier, and yummier. Why? Because at Potbelly, we know it's never enough to just eat lunch. You gotta feed your smile. Swing by for our new turkey club, handcrafted to make you smile.
Build it, you demolish it. The legendary Homewrecker Burrito. Come build yours today with 20+ fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE.
Chris Lehman and Max Gorin back with you post-game on PackTV. A tough loss, Max, 6-2 for NC State against Florida Gulf Coast. Still waiting on Coach to come out, talking with his team and going over what happened in this game. Not used to losing 2 games in a row and struggling really against a team who is able to come out and impose their style of play on the Ice Pack. But they're hopefully going to get back to form as they have the ACCHL tournament coming up. What will that do for them, in terms of kind of a warm-up headed to nationals?
Well, the ACCHL tournament's going to be obviously a modified event this year, not how it's typically run, as not all the member institutions will be participating, but it will be somewhat of a tune-up. The level of competition in the ACCHO, we've seen is not necessarily on the tier of what we'd see at regionals or even at the national tournament, but it will be a good opportunity for them to get some ice time in, work on just giving their best effort, going back to their bread and butter, getting set in the offensive zone, making those great passes that we normally see, those great plays they usually put on the ice. And we'll see if they can sort of bring everything that they have to the table and bring some momentum into the national tournament.
And they will have some competition at that ACCHL tournament. Talking to Coach Healy earlier today, they do expect to see Virginia Tech and West Virginia, who coming into the season before everything got kind of thrown cattywampus, you could say, were expected to be some of the top teams in the ACCHL, and they will present a bit of a challenge for NC State, but I think most importantly, and I'd be interested to see what you think, I think this is a tournament, if they can come out and play well, will give them some confidence headed up to North Dakota in April.
I mean, there's nothing like winning a trophy, winning a championship. You'll be feeling great after that. And once you see that you're capable of winning something even at that level, that's something that can inspire you, can motivate you, be like, we're capable of doing this. Let's see what else we can do. We know we're already great, but we can show everyone just how great we are.
And hopefully we'll be able to see that as they get a chance to head back onto the ice in a couple weeks for the ACCHL tournament. We're going to take one more quick break here post-game on PackTV. When we come back, we'll have our final words from head coach Tim Healy. Final count 6-2 between Florida Gulf Coast and NC State. We'll be right back on PackTV.
Build it, you demolish it. The legendary Homewrecker Burrito. Come build yours today with 20+ fresh ingredients.
First online order, 10% off. Promo code ONLINE. From the top of D.H. Hill Library, Don Diablo.
Oh yeah, this is actually in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? This is Kid Kinetic, your boy, up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State. Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
So with the fans, I mean, it sucks not having them here this year because they're an integral part to any time we have a home game. Their support and helping us get to nationals 2 years ago was just incredible, and how the community kind of rallied behind us and helped us get there. I mean, that was amazing. So if we could even have some semblance or replication of what happened 2 years ago this year, that would be absolutely unreal. This year specifically, we have a really, really good shot to, find some success and have a shot at winning that national title. And, the boys in the room believe we can do it. The coaches believe in us. Any support we can get would be amazing. You can donate at www.icepackhockey.com. This would help our team get to nationals, pay for flights, hotels, any transportation like buses and things like that. So we'd really appreciate your help in getting us there and helping us achieve our ultimate goal of winning that national championship. Thank you.
Chris Lehman, Max Gorin back with you here on PackTV. We'll wrap it up for you real quick. A 6-2 loss for NC State against Florida Gulf Coast. And again, we mentioned it, tough to lose 2 games on the weekend, but you have something to look forward to.
Yep, the ACCHL tournament coming up soon, I believe in Winston-Salem, and then the ACHA National Tournament, which the team has already qualified for. Speaking of, the team does need your support to help fund the trip. Any support you guys can give is greatly appreciated. More information on that is available at icepackhockey.com.
And that is certainly a right that they have earned this season. This is a very impressive NC State squad. And again, I think that just is a testament to how good this Florida Gulf Coast team is, that they were able to come out and play the way that they did. And again, I think you learn some lessons if you're NC State. You glean from Florida Gulf Coast and you get yourself ready to compete at the national tournament here coming up very shortly. And we're going to step aside just briefly. We'll bring head coach Tim Healy back to finish it up here on PackTV.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
The Wake Competition Center, the Ice Pack drop game 6-2 to the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles. Joining me now is Coach Tim Healy. And Coach, you never like to lose, but Florida Gulf Coast is a great program. What has the team learned from this 2-game set, and how can they use that to improve moving forward?
I mean, that's what we were just talking about in the locker room, is being able to string 3 periods together. You know, at 2 nights in a row, we had great first periods, but we couldn't maintain that energy. And so we need to get to work so we can carry that through 3 periods of hockey.
And what's the team's game plan moving forward? You get a couple weeks off, and we're moving into postseason play at the ACCHL tournament and the ACHA national tournament.
Yeah, it's kind of been a weird year in that there hasn't been much ACCHL stuff. So, you know, for those that are watching at home, just kind of to describe what the year has been for us is, imagine you don't play conference games, but imagine you're taking your top teams in the SEC, your top teams in the ACC football-wise, top teams in the Big Ten, and it's almost like those guys are just playing each other, and that's what we've had this year with Florida Gulf Coast, with Liberty, and then some other sprinkled thing, and you're not really playing your league games. So that's what this year has been like. And it's actually going to be nice to kind of see some familiar faces, to get back into that building, get back to our ACCHL roots, and we have a title to defend, which we didn't think we were going to have that opportunity, but the opportunity is there to go after a three-peat. So I'm grateful for it.
Lastly, do you have any messages for the fans at home at the conclusion of this so-called regular season?
Just a couple things. I think we've shown this year, we've beaten Florida Gulf Coast, we've beaten Liberty. This year without fans in the building, obviously we have great fans. We're able to pull a lot of financially out of, because we sell tickets and we put a good product on the ice. So the next couple of weeks, we're going to have to get fundraising our way out there, so support us. the second and third periods might not show up, but this is a team that can make a run at a national championship. I think we've shown it with whom we've beaten and competed this year. But we have to get to Bismarck, which is a financial challenge in and of itself.
It's a long ways away, but fans, you can provide any and all support online at icepackhockey.com. Thanks a lot for the time, Coach. We'll be signing off here from the Wake Competition Center. This has been Ice Pack Hockey on PackTV, bringing you into the pack.
Go Pack.